down, 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 down. Throw on some tunes as we're letting people load in. Give it another couple minutes, let folks load on in.
Sweet.
Say their hellos. How are we feeling? How are we feeling this tune? Is it giving the right vibe?
It's pretty chill. I'm about it.
It's got some good beeps and boops, and this is called Short Circuit, so I think that works.
That's true.
I've always been more of a boop guy, but I don't mind a few beep.
I can respect that, but I'm more of a beep person myself, so I still think your opinion is wrong, but I respect it.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know a lot of beep people because beeps are trash. But,
Oh,
that's fine. That's fine.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Beeps are trash.
Beeps are trash. But it's fine if you like them. Some people like trash things.
It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It takes trash to know trash, so I mean, we can all be in this trash pile together. So.
Well, I think leading into the beginning of the stream, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit to something a little more familiar to the Masks and Mayhem community.
Sweet.
Brandon's in the chat calling me out like I wasn't trying to get it. get our theme music running. You should know this tune is made by Pope Brandon Brownson, whom you can find on Spotify and other fine places. I don't know how this is selling music, but you can listen to it. You can also find all of their information on masksandmayhem.com at the bottom there. But I think we've been around long enough so that we're gonna fade on out here. I know, right before we get to the drop. And let's say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. All of the bodies.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies
Or
hit the
just
floor.
stay tuned in. Either one. Fine.
You can watch from the floor. We don't
It's certainly a valid way to watch.
Boots, not where you're watching from.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching from LinkedIn, because I'm not streaming to LinkedIn, so I want to know how you're getting this pirated stream.
Who strings from LinkedIn anyway?
Well, specifically the Green Ronin team, who we're calling out just a little bit, but they do it
do.
mostly for the laughs, and because two people do watch from there, so, you know, hey, viewers are viewers.
Fans of Boops, please, sign
Yeah,
off in the comments.
if you're a fan
Hit
of
the
if you're a
comments.
fan of Boops or if you're a fan of Beeps, sound off in the chat about it.
Yeah,
Let me
Boops,
hear
get in the
about the
chat.
beeps. No, I want to hear about the beeps. No boops, all beeps.
All right. Well, hello, friends. I guess let's take a quick moment to introduce ourselves before we jump into tonight's game. I am your game master, RC, and I am joined by I'll name y'all, and you can introduce yourself, Claude.
Hello, I'm Claude, as RC has correctly spoken. I'm usually just kind of floating around the interwebs. You'll see me in the chat section for like Green Ronin Mutants and Masterminds stream. Almost anything Mutants and Masterminds, but you can also find me on Threads. I'm Curly Insane Guy with a underscore, and I talk about comics and TTRPGs, but specifically superhero TTRPGs.
I'll say
Join the chat.
there's a good meld there.
There's synergy, yeah, and I feel like I'm trying to grab more of the comic people, and I'm like playing my games, but we'll see.
All right. Well, Claude is playing tonight and is joined by.
Hi, I'm Carp, Mother of Carp. I'm on the internet. I'm usually on Twitch. Find me at Mother of Carp. I make things and I do stuff. That's my spiel. I'm sticking to it.
All right, and before we start jumping on in, I want to give a quick welcome. Again, I'm your Game Master RC. Tonight's stream uses the game Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition, the world's greatest superhero RPG made by our friends at Green Ronin Publishing. For the uninitiated, the game's main mechanic is a d20 plus an ability modifier versus a difficulty check. This allows it to facilitate cinematic action. Character creation offers nearly unlimited flexibility to create any type of character. The system also has a sort of currency called a hero point that allows you to reroll dice, edit scenes, and modify or boost a character's powers in a pinch. They are earned by leaning into genre tropes like setbacks and complications, heroic behavior, good roleplay, jokes I think are funny, and even jokes I think aren't. So let's get started with a quick little previously on from the last time we saw these characters. As we fade in, it's a dark night in Highwind City, Michigan. It's the middle of February. It's a really cold night out.
Storm Fury is a young mid-20s gal. She grew up in most of her life. She lived in a monastery. Grew up in the city, but was a bit of a rambunctious kid. Was taken to the monastery when she started to learn that she had these awesome wind powers, and the monastery helped to learn her control these powers. And she loves doing martial arts.
Dr. Haze, aka Jake Bradley, aka Rory Stevens. Lots of names going on here. He started Rory as a med student, kind of fell in with a bad crowd, acting as sort of a mob doctor in a gang, and things went really wrong one night when they shot the wrong person, or his friends did. And he tried to save the woman's life, but before she passed, he cursed Rory and his friends, and because he tried to save her in the end, she gave him a chance to not suffer this curse as badly as his friends. So as they faded to smoke, she told him that with enough willpower he could pull himself back together and be a person again. And after some time he was able to do so, and now he has adopted a new identity. He continues working in the medical field at a free clinic now, and at night he beats up bad guys.
Alrighty then. To start us off, let's go with Storm Fury. Your question of the day for you to get started is, what did you want to be when you grow up?
I wanted to be. Oh, what was it? I wanted to be a fighter pilot. No. I wanted to be a fireman. No. Wait, I know what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a dragon, a big fire-breathing dragon.
Gotcha. ADHD buffet. Okay. Um, and Dr. Hayes, have you ever owned a car? And if so, has that car had a name? Or would you name a car if you got one?
I have owned a car in the past. Never really felt like it needed a name, despite several of my friends suggesting it, but it was just like a cheap used car that I could afford while I was in med school.
All right.
Nothing fancy.
All right. Well, just to kind of get yourself in the right mindset of yourself for the night. Um, we're gonna fade back in again to Highwind City, Michigan, and the two of you are uh, on the scene investigating a warehouse, as you tend to do as you're situated kind of in Soda Falls, the warehouse district, Slaughter Square area of Highwind City. So you've been investigating Vito Filoni, uh, the land developer who seems to be making himself an enemy of yours as he tries to find ways to ground a little more money out of the citizens of Highwind City, what little they have. And you found basically one of his warehouses, and you're trying to kind of search it for documentation. Tell me what that looks like.
What's in the warehouse?
For the most part, it seems to be crates and for the most part, crates and file storage, like filing cabinets.
Are the
And
crates labeled? Do we know
uh,
what's in the crates?
for the most part, it seems to be kind of normal everyday stuff. Like, might be, you can't tell the legality of it because some of it is things like alcohol uh, and let's say medicinal marijuana, like things that theoretically could be legal, but you don't know if his particular place of getting them is legal.
Gotcha.
And then in terms of the filing cabinets, a lot of it is just documentation of like land purchases. Kind of feeds into those kind of shell companies you were finding evidence for in your last adventure.
Are the file cabinets locked?
Some of them are. You've been kind of busting into some of them to get into them. Or I don't know, actually, does Dr. Haze, do you have the ability to be like semi-tangible? Could you reach your hand through something and then like make your hand tangible to unlatch something?
No, unfortunately, it's more all or nothing. So if there was a locked
Okay.
office, he would have like smoked himself under the door to open it. But once it comes to the cabinets, we gotta find a key or just break into it.
I'm imagining Storm Fury. You're kind of like feeling the cabinet's energy and like the right place to punch to open it, because these are not complicated locks. We're not talking like padlocks or safe locks.
Hear me out! Hear me out, Doctor! If I punch right here on the side, if I punch this spot right here, I can collapse the cabinet.
Are you trying to sell me on filing cabinet chiropractic? Is this what's up? Because I have to say I don't endorse that practice. But go ahead. Go ahead and you
Oh,
can break it. I'm just saying I feel like I need that disclaimer. Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, no. He gave me, as far as I can tell, the okay. So I want to try and punch the side of the cabinet to try and undo one of the locked ones.
Boom!
Yeah.
It pings open like a cash register.
Excellent. All
Well
right,
done.
all right. I'll get the A through M's, and then you get the N through Z's.
Sounds good.
And for the most part, it just seems like you haven't found that smoking gun yet. These just continue to be kind of documentation that builds your case, but nothing that's like foolproof that says, this person is doing illegal things.
Gotcha.
So
Well, I
useful
mean,
in
we
your
see some
ongoing
of the
investigation, but
ones that have
the.
since our last team up, has there been any more like arson cases?
No, the arsonist known as Bonfire has not reared his ugly head in this past month. It's now March of 2024.
Gotcha.
So things have been for the most part quiet. I would imagine, unless you feel differently, that this is probably the first time your characters have really seen each other. I'm interested in who you thought took the lead on further investigating, Vito Filoni.
So how have you been? It's been a few months. How you been, dude?
Same old, same old. The
Ah,
clinic's been busy, but at least there hasn't been as many burns coming in.
well, that's good. That's a good sign. It's good to see that there aren't as many buildings on fire. In fact, I haven't seen any buildings on fire lately. I think we did a good job. I haven't seen Bonfire though.
How have you been?
Oh, I've been all right. we had a busy day at the museum the other day. There were three whole schools coming in for their end of the year trip, and it was just kids everywhere. And then there were these kids that were trying to climb on the T-Rexes in the hallway, and it was a fun day.
Actually, I've been meaning to have you come in just for a checkup on those burns you got before.
Oh, yeah, you mean, and then I pull back part of my sleeve and there's like a big scar on my arm now. Yeah. I don't know
Honestly,
how long this will take to
it's
go
looking
away.
better than expected. I think
Aw.
you're doing everything right.
I would
Well,
say
thank
through a
you.
combination of traditional healing and intense meditation, you have begun to heal, and you're minus some scarring, pretty much back to normal.
Yes.
These burns were painful, but not long lasting. They were not, these are not like, is it third degree is the worst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Well,
these are closer to somewhere around the first degree line.
okay.
They were many, but not deep.
Good. Good, good. Well,
Perfect.
I don't see anything in these documents. Hmm.
No, I
How's
was really hoping we'd get something super obvious, but this guy covers his tracks.
Well, that's what you'd expect of a crime boss. He wouldn't be a boss without knowing how to I don't know, be a boss. Yep, that's what I've said. So, I don't know,
And
I'm just
it's as you're finishing this as you're having this conversation, I should say, that you hear the door to the front of the building start to like open, like click, click, like people unlocking the locks to get in.
shit. All right, I am going to close the file cabinet as quietly as I can and try and find a place to hide.
All right, and Dr. Hayes, what's your plan?
I will turn to smoke and find a pretty like narrow area that you wouldn't get into normally because you'd have to push through, and I'll just kind of hide back there where I can listen.
All right. So in that case, then let's have. I'm gonna have both of you roll a stealth check, but I'm gonna give Dr. Hayes. You're gonna get a +5 circumstance bonus for being intangible. Unless your intangible form doesn't give you any specific bonus already towards stealth checks. Or
It doesn't. No,
okay,
if
just
I
making
use my
sure.
concealment, it does, but I needed that +5. That was a pretty bad roll.
I got a 21.
All right, all right.
With the +5, I got a total of 17.
All right, so this looks to be two guys, kind of your run of the mill goons. Two guys, kind of just t-shirts and jackets and jeans. Beanie hats on because it's cold. They got gloves on. It was snowing outside yesterday, so it was, it's snow and ice on the ground, um, but nothing active. Anyway, they're letting themselves in. The one's rubbing his hand together. He goes, "Oh man, it's so cold out today. What did the boss need from here?" And you heard him say, yeah, we're collecting crate 12F. We got to get it over to, looks like Jimmy's Liquors." Um, and he goes, "Oh, okay, gotcha." And the two of them walk over, and you see the crate. And it's a pretty sizable crate, like the kind you would normally need a hand truck for or forklift. And the guy who was saying he was cold says, "This the one?" And the other guy looks at his clipboard and he goes, "Yeah, that's it." Um, yeah, say if you can grab that, we'll get it loaded in the truck. We'll get out of here. I think that's all we got for today. And the guy goes, "All right," and he with just two hands picks up the crate.
Oh,
And you notice a sort of like hydraulic hissing sound as he picks it up.
Ah, interesting.
And he
Which I
goes,
uh, which I only think to myself and do not say out loud.
"Oh, okay, good to know." Uh, and so he turns and he starts to walk away. The other guy's kind of looking around and he goes, "Why are all the lights on?" Boss definitely is not going to like all the electricity being wasted. "Give me a second, I'll lock up." And the other guy holding the crate walks out the door. And you hear his footsteps away again. You continue to hear the as he walks away, and the other guy starts kind of puts his clipboard under his arm, starts going around turning off all the various lights in the space. And he's kind of giving it one last look before he looks like he's about to head out of the room. He's gonna lock up behind him, I'm sure.
Hmm.
All right. Do you do anything before he leaves the room?
Nope. Just let him go.
All right.
Got
Yep.
a place in mind now.
He goes out and he locks the door behind him, and you're now in pitch darkness. Which I guess maybe Dr. Haze, do you have dark vision or anything like that?
I
Like-
don't actually.
Well, first obstacle of the day. I pull out my phone flashlight and use
Okay.
that to try and find Dr. Hayes.
All right.
I'll smoke form and move to the light.
All right. He
Just
appears
reform.
to you like a horror villain. Like a
Ah!
horror villain.
Jesus,
That can't
are
keep
really-
surprising you every time. It's
And
you
hear
are really good at that.
And you hear the sound of a truck turn over, and then you hear your truck start to take off.
Well,
Jimmy's liquor.
Jimmy's liquor. That guy had automata legs. How common are like automata people or like robotic like people?
Very uncommon.
That's
Like,
weird.
it wouldn't be the first time you've ever heard of like a robot or an android or a cyborg, but it's not your run of the mill thing. Certainly not for your run of the mill goons.
Yeah, that was. I thought I heard something. Also,
Jimmy's
the fact that he
liquor.
was lifting that was a giveaway. Yeah,
Um,
Jimmy's liquor.
I want to just like before we leave, I want to go over to the file cabinet, find Jimmy's liquor in the file stash, and just take a picture with my phone of some files in there, just so I can read them later.
Sure. You take those pictures. All right, what are you doing next?
We gotta
Jimmy's
get
liquor?
to Jimmy's liquor. Yep.
All right, shut the door. Shut the file cabinet door. Let's go.
We need to invest in like a vehicle for this. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Oh,
while Jimmy's liquor is not far, it is going to be a bit of a walk. Are you going to take the subway?
yeah, why not? That seems
That's
fun.
fine.
All right, so you jump on the subway, you ride it a few stops. When you get there, you see that same truck taking off.
Just missed him.
But it looks like there's someone with a hand cart who's actually loading that same crate now into Jimmy's liquors.
Want to go in and get a vibe for the place at least?
Yeah, let's do that. Do you want anything?
Oh, I was gonna go with.
Well, I mean, do you want anything? I'm gonna get something at the counter.
Oh.
Do you want anything? While we're there,
Sometimes you need a
Yes.
van.
we do need a
Surprise
van.
me.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. All
All
right.
right, so Storm Fury, you're going in alone then.
I'm going in alone. I'm gonna just like pretend to be a patron and also actually be a patron. So I'm going to go in and just get some snacks at the liquor store because that's what you do when you go to a liquor store. I've got the rumblies and my tumblies that only snacks can satisfy. So, gonna go pick up like a couple of different chips and some mixed nuts and look around up and down the aisles a bit as I'm picking up some snacks.
All right. Well, the things that you're taking notice of, actually roll me a perception check.
That would be a 20, not natural.
All right. The things that you notice then with a 20, one, the second you come in, the same guy who was loading that crate in the back before suddenly comes on out and he goes to the counter, like kind of just standing and waiting, and you can tell he's, since you're the only patron in there right now, he's kind of like following you using like the little corner mirrors. At the same time, you also notice a few things. One, the door to the back's open. You can see the crate. Looks like he started unloading it. It is some assorted liquors. You also take notice through the mirror that he has like a shotgun behind the counter. He's not holding it, but it's like, it's racked back there as like a defensive measure.
I'm gonna pull out my phone really quick and I'm gonna text Dr. Hayes. Check. I think they have some snacks in the back, and send that. And then I'm gonna like look around and say they have flaming hot and regular. Which one do you want?
Flaming hot. every
All
time.
right. And as soon as I get that text, then I put my phone away and I get the flaming hot and head up to the counter.
All right. Guy rings you up. He says that's gonna be it's gonna be 15.
And I pay him with cash.
All
I
right.
hand him a 20.
All right. He gives you change back.
Thank you. You have
Yeah.
a good day.
Yeah. You too. Stay warm out there.
All right. So then I'm gonna head back around the corner and wait for you to do whatever it is you want to do.
Gotcha. Yeah, is there like is this like an alley situation where the back
So
entrance
the
is
Yeah, so the store itself is on the corner, and there's a little alley on the one side where that's like the truck had pulled up and had been loading things in and out. It's just like a regular door, not a full-on like loading bay.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is closer to your corner bodega than it is like a dedicated liquor store. It's definitely somewhere people walk to. It's not like a place people drive to.
Okay. I'm gonna start moseying down that alleyway
All right.
towards
Yeah.
the back opening.
Okay, well the door itself is closed, but you see the entrance, and it's got like a sign that just says like Jimmy's Liquors, just so like people that are loading stuff do know where to drop off.
Well, as per usual, I look for a vent.
Gotcha. So you see a ventilation system to the upper right of that door, and if you're gonna turn into smoke, you can easily go right
Yep,
through it.
smoking on in.
All right. I have to remember sometimes that you turn into smoke, you don't become intangible. You're not a ghost.
Right, yeah, I'm still yeah. I'm
Um,
gaseous.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you get back in, and you once you're in that back room, you can see a combination of things. One, more liquors. You see the crate. You see once you look inside, you can see like there's like an invoice from Filoni. And as you look around, you notice that like all of the liquor in this store is from like the crates and things that it's being stored in are all from that same warehouse. The other
Okay.
thing you notice, there are a couple more guns back here. These are also look to be in crates. Some of them are open. Some right next to them are not.
Interesting. So crates of guns, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing too extreme. We're not talking like a rocket launcher or anything.
Yeah, but it's still like a good amount.
Yeah, more than you would expect a liquor store to have.
Yeah, it's slightly more than you'd expect here.
Only slightly more. This is still set in America after all.
Of course, yeah, that's only 20? That's fine.
Yeah, only 20.
Oh, there's 50. Now I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
But only a little.
But only a
So
little.
the crate we saw being delivered is in there, right? And that one's unopened?
No, that one is opening. He was clearly starting to like unload that.
Okay,
one as well.
gotcha.
And that one was
Okay,
just,
is he still in here?
well, he's in the front, and by the time you kind of get that little layout, you can hear him. He's starting to walk back towards it.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for a second and see what he does when he gets back.
Okay, so again, so in your gaseous form, are you still visible?
I am smoke. So yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna notice. All right.
If I'm in the vent, so I'm hoping.
Oh, you're still in the vent. Okay,
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
you
I
would
would
come
go
out.
up into the vent. No, I came
Okay.
out to look, but I'd go back into
Gotcha.
the vent.
That's just what I want to make sure. I was like, most
There's just
people
a
would
ball
be
of smoke.
Yeah,
There's
say
just
most people would be surprised by just one either smoke or a gaseous humanoid.
yeah. There's
Um,
a person shaped just ball of smoke. That's weird.
So he comes into the room and he's looking around. He gives a sigh and he picks up the invoice and he goes, "Another goddamn fee.
I know how that goes.
This deal's getting worse all the time."
And does it look like he's just unloading the stuff out of there?
Yeah, he's just unloading the stuff, and
And is that the guns and more liquor or
this crate is just liquor. Like I said,
Okay.
the guns are notable that are there, but that's not what was being delivered tonight.
okay? Then I'll make my way out of here if it doesn't seem like he's gonna randomly monologue about this arrangement.
Yeah.
Not a normal thing to do, so I'm gonna go.
I think Jimmy has said about it as much as he will.
He's gonna wax
unprompted.
poetic about it. Alas, yeah. I'll fly back out of the vent and reform in the alley and then walk out.
All right,
Quietly.
I see you, and I'm like, and I whisper over to you, Hey, here's your Cheetos, and I just like push them at you. Did you see the cameras? Did you see all those cameras?
Oh, I didn't. I barely paid attention to that, but I saw a ton of guns.
A ton of guns. That's no fun.
Maybe not a literal ton, but I mean, it seemed like he could lift a literal ton. But yeah, all the liquor from the same warehouse we were just at.
Yeah, it seems very suspicious. They really have that place on lockdown. Like every corner of that place was monitored. Every
He also
single
mentioned a
corner.
deal.
That's the one other thing I'll mention is having now seen the inside of that crate, you would guess that it's at least a couple 100 pounds.
Gotcha.
Like it was very densely packed.
No joke. Yeah, it was okay. And yeah, whatever he's got going in there is lets him lift it a lot. Again, maybe not a ton, but it's hard to judge.
What are they hiding? I wonder out loud.
I don't know, but he mentioned a deal that isn't going as well as he would like.
I wonder if there's anything on the documents that I snapped photos of before we left. So I'm gonna like thumb through some of the pictures that I took and see if there's anything that's like relative now that we've been to the place.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of the invoices that you're seeing. Basically, deliveries, dates. For the most part, like it just seems to be normal liquor, right? But then occasionally you see ones that are like Filoni specialty liquor. Ones that are not as explicitly marked, and those ones seem to be more expensive. And then the other thing you notice is like relevant to what the man said is that there is a convenience fee added on, and it seems to be getting to be more and more over the last couple months.
Less convenient, one might say.
Yeah.
Less convenient indeed. Convenient for us, though. All right. Well, this is some suspicious information and stuff to go off of, but I don't think it's enough to nail him for anything. How far apart are these Filoni special deliveries made?
To this place looks to be about weekly.
Like on the same day?
Yeah, for the most part. Like, there's a few aberrations, but for the most part, yeah, they all seem to be like the same day.
What do you think, Dr. Hayes?
I wonder if there was something under the liquor after, like if delivering something in addition to it. I feel like it's
Most
probably just covering something, right?
most certainly. Most certainly indeed. I wonder. So on the invoice, did it have the crate number? I think it was F12 or something. Was that marked or
So the documentation in there did not have tonight's delivery. It had all the previous ones, and if you had to go based on that, there is not a pattern to the special liquors being marked, but they seem to be a bit more random. Mostly, for the vast majority, it is just standard ones that you would recognize. Your high wind IPAs and your Riverside lagers.
Well, that's suspicious. Now,
Yeah.
how to get a look at that box without them asking questions or catching on to us? That's the real trick.
And I should also
They
just
have
make
to
a
leave
slight
at some point.
I should make a slight correction that there was not cameras in the place, just enough mirrors to like from that front counter you can see everything.
Okay.
Well, we probably can't go in through the front if we want to get a better look at them because everything is monitored. Can we see if they're unloading crates still or if they've finished up their job?
So it's just the one guy working in there. Remember that the two guys that were in the truck, they were taking off around the time you got here. So it is
Gotcha.
presumably, you didn't ask his name, but it's presumably Jimmy in there right
Right,
now.
Jimmy's a normal guy, not a crazy
Yeah.
cyborg like the guy in the truck. So
As far as
right,
you
right.
can tell.
yeah,
But yeah, if you kind of like peek your eye in the window, he doesn't seem visible. You see the occasional move of his head in that back room as he's probably unloading that crate.
You know, it's funny. He headed out pretty quick as soon as I entered the store. He'd probably know if we went back in. I want to know what's in that crate. Dr. Hayes, I'm out of ideas today. Do you have any ideas?
I mean, it's a 24-hour place. I would say
It goes
just
till
wait
pretty
around.
late. It's open for another couple hours till about midnight.
Assuming he doesn't get up to anything with what's in there before midnight, we can always break in then.
That works. All right. So, want to wait around a bit?
Sure, I've got some chips.
Yes, you do. I also have chips.
All right, and you're just hanging out like across the street, or what's the game plan then?
So I really like rooftops, so I'm gonna find a place to parkour up to some roofs, and I'm gonna head up across. I'm gonna go across the street, parkour up some roofs,
Okay.
then go back across the street so that I can look at the back entrance, from a higher angle.
All right, yeah. Roll me an athletics or an acrobatics check, whichever you're higher in. Dr. Hayes, are you gonna follow?
I was going to say,
Storm Fury?
after that impressive display, I just kind of fly up there.
Well,
Much
lucky
less
you.
work.
That's a 25.
Oh my gosh, you are exceptionally graceful at this. Like you get a running start, run up the side of a wall, kick over to the other wall, do that kind of like back and forth kick thing, and then grab onto a fire escape and like pull yourself the rest of the way up in almost one leap.
Woo! That was fun.
How did that look smoother than actual flight? That's wild.
So you both end up on the roof, and it's around this time, Dr. Hayes, that you're getting a call on your phone.
Oh,
Second. Oh shoot. And it is from. Oh shoot! I do not have the name on here like I thought I did. That was foolish of me. Give me just a second then.
Kevin?
What was that?
I said, is it Kevin
Is it
or Letitia?
Letitia. That's who I was trying to.
Cool,
pull
cool.
the name up for. So yeah, it's Letitia who works at the, who works at the, not the clinic you're at, who works at Highwind City General Hospital. Letitia Collins. And she says, actually, which name does she know you as? Is it Jake Bradley?
Yeah, she would know me as Jake.
All right. Hey, Jake, are you busy right now?
Sort of. Hold on. I'm gonna try to walk like to the further edge of the building because I have to talk and I don't want to be heard on this corner.
Okay. She says, "Yeah, we are just a little short-handed tonight, and it would be, if you have the time, if you could come by possibly and help out with that, it would be really appreciated. I know you don't technically work over here, but I know I can vouch for you, and we could just use an extra hand tonight."
How short-handed are we talking?
Basically, we've had quite a few call-outs, a bunch of people that are pretty sick tonight. It's just we're kind of treading water at the moment. If anything, happens, we could find ourselves drowning pretty quickly.
Okay, give me a second. I'll talk to someone real quick. I think I can make it over there. I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, just text me.
Yep.
And let me know.
What's the hubbub, bub?
Hey, so medical emergency, sort of.
Oh man, not another one. Well,
Yep.
if you gotta go, I understand. I won't go marching in without you because there's guns, and that's a bad idea. And I'm told that I should stop making bad decisions with this when I go and investigate things. So I'll hang out here for a couple hours. If you gotta go, we'll take a look at this later.
And
Yeah,
a few
this
moments. Oh, sorry.
this kind of stuff has a way of taking longer than I'd hope. But if you're sure that no one else is in there, I say go ahead. You've worked alone plenty.
All right. Well,
A few moments later, the truck that initially pulled up is coming back.
Interesting. I snack a photo without using flash. Try to get a photo of it with my phone.
Okay, yeah. It's a late '90s model truck. It's it's pretty. It's like a dark brown, and looks pretty worn, from time. And you're able to catch the license plate number.
Cool. Very cool.
But it pulls up, and the two guys get back out. And you do notice also that the one guy gets out, that the truck lifts up a little bit.
Well, that's interesting.
And they're making their way back inside of Jimmy's Liquors.
Well, if you gotta go, I understand, but I'm gonna sit and watch for a little bit. And I start munching chips furiously.
Okay. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I have to go. Just don't end up in the ER. Yeah.
Well, no promises, but I'll try not to end up in the ER.
I'll text Letitia and on my way.
All right.
All right.
My phone tries to change it to OMW immediately, and I'm like, no, I don't do that. Why is it?
No abbreviations.
I don't like this. Yeah.
This newfangled technology.
He'll head
Hey.
over.
It's our friends from Green Renine Publishing, and I missed out on our friend Control Alt Quinn stopping in.
Quinn!
This is actually a perfect opportunity
cool.
to say that part of this is to help raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Foundation. And we'll have a link in the chat in just a moment that if you are interested in donating to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Foundation, it's a really great way to help those with dealing with cancer as well as their families with the costs associated with that. Oh, I don't have my links pulled up. Okay, but it sounds like Dr. Haze, you are heading over to Highwind City General. And
Yep.
what are you doing, Storm Fury?
So I'm gonna keep watching from the rooftop for a bit, taking some photos here and there, and just observing the suspected robot guy and the van and the boxes, and trying to listen in on some things, gather what I can.
All right. Well, it's a little hard. It's definitely hard to hear from this side. You can see through the windows a bit what's going on, but you can't really hear anything.
Well, so what do I see?
Well, you see the two guys go in, and the one with the clipboard, he's kind of like talking to the guy who's now come around again to the front counter, and he's kind of just like gesturing, and eventually he starts to look a little more upset, and you can't see Jimmy, the owner's response, but you see him start to like more gesticulate, broadly, and the bigger guy with the hydraulic joints suddenly reaches across the counter and grabs Jimmy by the collar and picks him up.
Ooh, this is not good. And I start eating. Is there a fire escape nearby? Maybe I could get closer.
Yeah, there's a fire escape that you use to kind of get yourself up onto this roof.
All right, so I want to get a little bit closer to see if there's something I can hear or see while this is going down.
And basically what you're seeing as you get closer, again, with the door being closed, you're not really able to hear anything. But you see this guy basically just like picking Jimmy up by his collar and shaking him very abruptly. And you see like Jimmy throwing up his hands. And eventually he's let back down onto the ground slowly.
Well, that could have been worse.
But then you see the guy also grabs him by the arm. And you notice his hand is like almost like a vice grip on his wrist.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna make a note of this. Am I able to get any pictures? Or is it too dark?
Roll a stealth check.
That's a 14.
All right. As you're watching, you see the guy who has the grip on his wrist jerk it to the right, and you through the door hear it snap. And then you hear Jimmy scream.
Well, This is definitely not good. I look around. Since Dr. Hayes has already left, I am in a bit of a panic because I want to go in there, but I don't want to have to face a dude who could break my arm with his fist. So, what time is it? How far away? How soon after closing is it?
It has not closed yet. It closes in about an hour.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go around to the front and I'm gonna look all panicked and be like, hey, excuse me. I think I left my little coin purse here. I think I might have dropped it.
So you're
Is it
going
around here?
into the place, like you open the door and go in.
Yeah, but I'm gonna like do it in sort of a panic, like, excuse me. I think I dropped my coin purse in here. I was here earlier. Like, has anybody seen it?
And the guy still has still has Jimmy's broken wrist in the grip. And the guy with the clipboard, he also the guy who just broke his wrist has not broken eye contact with Jimmy, who is like whimpering. And the guy with the clipboard kind of leans over to look at you through the two of them and goes, "No coin purse. You should leave."
I slowly back away. Um, I slowly back away and I
And you see
pull up
Jimmy
my phone.
mouth, "Help me."
So as I, all right. So at this point, you said that there are mirrors, but there aren't any cameras, right?
Correct. As far as you can see.
Okay, I just straight up call the cops. I'm not on camera, so they're not gonna have evidence that it was. They're not gonna recognize me. So I straight up call the cops and say, "Hey, there seems to be some violence. I'd like to make a report of some violence happening at this store."
Gotcha. Can we get an address?
I give him the cross streets for the corner store since I know the name of the liquor store.
Okay.
Like it's
You say,
here, it's at, and then I look at the road. I'm like, it's on the corner of these streets.
okay. And you're saying, like, you're sending him
Yeah.
to Jimmy's Liquors?
Yep.
All right. And then what do you do?
And then I head back to a vantage point, and I head off to try and do some observation.
All right. You get back up there and you're doing some observation. And at this point, the guy has let go of Jimmy's wrist. Um, the other guy, uh, the other guy basically goes to leave and gives Jimmy a little salute. And the two of them leave and they get back in the truck and they head on out. And no one shows up.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, that was certainly a thing that happened. Well, now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna text Dr. Hayes and be like, "Well, you will not believe the stuff that I just witnessed." So,
All right. Meanwhile, across town, Dr. Hayes, you are getting to Riverside General, or sorry, Riverside. You are getting to Highwind City General Hospital, and Letitia sees you and flags you down. I'm going under the assumption that you have changed back into a regular person.
Yes.
You don't show up as a bandage mummy person.
Hey there.
You don't show up as Dr. Mummy.
how
Right.
encouraging would it be at a hospital if the doctor is covered in bandages? Like, feeling real good about this.
They're like set really well though, so it shows that I've got skill with the bandages at least. Like you don't want someone else bandaging. Hey, Letitia.
Hi. Yes. If you wouldn't mind just doing some rounds and checking on everybody, I'm kind of doing a bit of triage at the ER right now.
Gotcha. I'll
And
get
I'll
right
also
into
say
it.
that you're getting the text from Storm Fury around the time you arrive. Does it just take a while to get over there?
And the very friendly Dr. Hayes will say details later. Not a question mark. It's like literally like you will
Yeah.
give me the details later. Just details later. Period.
Yep.
Then.
All right. And then I just text back K, just letter K. No punctuation.
We are the Kurt crew here.
All right.
Keep it short and simple.
All right. So you're going around, kind of doing the rounds with the patients that have come in tonight. And for the most part, it's pretty normal stuff. Some people with some chest pain, some people that, one person you quickly diagnose that like his appendix is probably about to burst, so you want to get him, get somebody to get him for surgery.
Makes sense.
A couple things like someone who like burned their hand on the stove. It's pretty bad, but it's not like life threatening.
Gotcha. Just a lot
Uh,
of little things to, a lot of stuff to take care
exactly.
of.
One guy who got into a pretty bad fight. He looks kind of messed up. Um,
Tell me the other guy looks worse.
nah, man. No one. My friends didn't believe me, but I'm pretty sure that guy was a robot.
A robot, you say?
I
What do
mean,
you mean?
I don't know if robot's the right word, but he definitely he wasn't just flesh and bone. You get me?
That's weird. Hold on, this is gonna sting a little. Put a bandage on his
Ugh.
cheek. Yeah, you're good. What do you mean? Like,
I'm telling you, like, I've been in a few tumbles, and this guy, I hit him, and it was like hitting a car door, and then
wow.
he flung me across the room like I was a rag doll.
Ooh,
I
hit your
think
head?
yeah. I think I'm all right. I just, I mean, obviously I'm not all right. I'm here at the hospital, but like, I don't think I'm concussed or anything like that. I'm just, my friends are worried, so they said I should get looked at, especially because I'm talking about robot people.
Yeah, that's the part that got me, and I got the like flashlights looking at his eyes.
I mean,
Huh?
he's nothing
Not
about him seems
flashlight,
like he's
the yeah.
under any hallucinogens or anything like that.
Gotcha. I'm mostly just like keeping the conversation going so he can tell me more potentially. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna do more checks than necessary on this guy.
he had a, we got into a bit of an argument, about whose table was whose, and then I accidentally spilled a drink on him, and it was an accident, but he didn't believe me, and then it got real bad. He was wearing, darn, what's it called? He was wearing one of them biker vests.
Oh
Um,
yeah?
yeah, he was with oh, it said the name of it, Frost something. But he was a
Oh
motorcycle gang. I've
yeah
seen them.
yeah.
I've seen them riding around before. They don't normally get over to this part of town, but I guess they were going for a joyride or something.
Gotcha. You planning on giving a police report or anything? I mean, I'm just here to check you out. I'm not gonna make you do anything. I didn't know if
Police came and spoke to me already. I told them what happened. I didn't get a real good look at the guy because it was pretty dark in there. But I was figured
gotcha.
the jacket would be enough. But we'll see.
I feel like I've seen that kind of jacket around though. Like I don't know how they would narrow it down. But who
Exactly.
knows? Who knows?
There's a bunch of those guys, but I heard a bunch of them got arrested the other month, so there's probably fewer of them.
Yeah, true. Well, I gotta say, if you fought the Terminator, you're looking pretty good despite it,
Oh man, that's what I'm gonna tell my friends. I'll tell them it was the Terminator.
right? Like just pretend there was a glowing red eye in the mix. But anyway, I'm gonna get going. Someone's gonna come and discharge you, but I
All
think
right,
I think you're clear to go.
cool. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
for your time. And you hear him as you're walking away, you hear him say to his buddy, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get such a charge to get told I'm okay."
Yes, he will, because he should have came to my clinic instead. That's on him. Um, okay,
Every episode doesn't have a moral, but it does have an enemy,
but it does have an enemy, right?
and it's usually a system.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you doing after that?
I'll move on to the other people, and then if I get a minute, I'll be like, "Hey, I need to cut out for a second.
Are you
Does
saying
it
that to
seem like we're
Letitia?
kind of on top? Yeah, does it seem like we're kind of on top of things now?
And she goes, "Yeah, I think we're good for a while. We should have another shift coming in soon. I appreciate you taking the time. If you're ever looking for more work, we'll make sure you get like a 1099 form for this. Don't you worry."
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I'm semi-employed here, PRN style occasionally, so it's not a big
Yeah,
thing.
but
But
still, it's really appreciated. We're not usually this shorthanded.
yeah, I would stay longer, but I've actually got some work in the other business.
And
So
she goes, "Ah, of course, doctor. Well, you have a good rest of your night."
You too. And we never did get that coffee last time. Try to find some time in your schedule.
Yeah, let's do that. And Dr. Hayes, you're going to get a hero point. So now
Yay.
you have 2, and Carp, just a reminder, everybody starts with 1. All right. So you're leaving? What are you heading and doing then?
I'm gonna head back to probably just rooftops in general. I'll just get some space between me and the hospital, and then I'll fly up and make a call.
Okay.
Storm Fury.
What time is it?
Let's say with all the people that he saw, it's been about 30 or 40 minutes. I'd say 45 minutes since you texted him.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'd still be awake and I'd still be around the area-ish. So, like, hey, you're still up. Can we chat? Texting you.
And he just calls.
And then I let it ring. I give it 3 rings and then I pick up.
I've decided Dr. Hayes is the worst at phone etiquette. No heads up that a call's coming, he's just boom.
Listen, when you spend a bunch of your time in like a gaseous form, you gotta pick the quickest method.
Exactly.
So I'm like, hey, how did your shift go? You good to talk about the things that I saw? Because I saw some things. I saw a guy get his arm broken.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I had someone who said he got in a fight with a robot from a very familiar gang.
Seems like we got some animatronios walking around.
What was that?
Animatronics.
Gotcha.
It's
I
also
knew,
worth
I just-
mentioning that the guy who broke Jimmy's arm did not have a biker
jacket,
club,
okay.
Jacket. Nor did the guy that was with him, or the truck or anything like that.
So I explain about how I went into the store briefly, panicking about losing my purse, and briefly I was like, yeah, I was so proud of that. I was so proud of that. It was such a good split-second decision. They have no idea who I am. But then I also explain about how I tried to call the cops afterwards, because at this point I was just like a regular citizen, just, I was not on camera. They're not going to see me. So I called the cops and nobody ever showed up.
Sounds about right.
I explain about the dude getting his arm snapped. I'm like, I want to go back tomorrow to check in on the guy. That's for sure.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I think our friends at the other biker bar are probably in the mix somehow.
Aw, these guys again? I don't like them.
I mean, they were working for. Oh, hold on, I forgot his name. My brain.
Vito Filoni, is that who you're thinking of?
Well, yeah, that's what I want to say. Filoni.
Man.
They were with him, and now these people are doing deliveries for him. Both of them apparently have access to some cyber, like hardware that they can add to people.
And I forget, didn't one of you tell me that you kind of monitor police activity last time? I might be getting my characters mixed up.
You're getting your
I-
characters mixed up. But I'm going to say yes and just roll with it and say, sure, why not? Because I work security and I would probably know a couple of things here and there.
All right.
Makes
You know what then? We'll just say that you both get an alert. It's from like one of those neighborhood watch apps, we'll say. And it's basically
It's next door.
Yeah, well, it's called Nearby.
Okay.
Not too far away.
And but basically it's an alert that says totally just saw a robot man in Slaughter Square, or sorry, in the warehouse district. And it's like a picture of a guy, and it looks like you can see like his jacket's pulled up, and you can see like this kind of silver with blue glowing circuitry like on his arm.
I start reading through the comments.
And it's like a blurry picture too, like Sasquatch like.
local metallic armed cryptid.
Yeah.
Okay. What is going on? This is like a bunch of stuff like all at once. So either he's got a lot of guys or those couple of guys are real busy.
And it says that this one in particular was like just now, pretty much when the picture got snapped. And it says that the guy was just like walking in a straight line, like just bumping into people as he went. Not really seeming to like pay attention or notice anybody being there. Like you see a lot of the comments being like, "Oh, I saw a guy like that too."
Huh.
We should go take a look immediately.
Let's go take a look immediately. Let's head out to where the rough coordinates are, where he was last seen.
Yeah. Like if you're able to like kind of pinpoint it, they all seem to be kind of heading towards, like I said, a certain area of the warehouse district. They don't all seem to be going to the same place, but they're gathering.
All right.
And but across the different reports, you would say that it's like 10 different ones you've seen reports about now. Like
Wow.
all people kind of filing in from that one post now.
Boy, these guys are just not being subtle. That is really weird that they're not being subtle about this.
They're not. That's yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
And then you also see the last thing you see before you kind of head out to check on these guys. You see a report about some lab, some flash mob that attacked some guys at a lab.
Robot flash mob.
No, this one wasn't
That's-
robots. This one was just like just had flash mob like did a dance party in a lab and then beat up the security team. And so you're heading to catch up to these robots, right?
Yep.
All right. So like I said, there's kind of 10. None of them are together. Is there any one in particular you're going to head toward, like kind of try to follow the beeline of?
I think just whichever one I spot first. I'm just heading
Alright.
that direction. If I can get sight of anyone, I'll just stick with that.
All right. Yeah, you see one of them. And he's walking like very determinedly, like speed walking.
A
And
good
as
power
you-
walk in.
Power walk. That was the word I'm looking for. And again, kind of like that person described, anytime someone's kind of in his way, doesn't seem to acknowledge them. He's definitely knocking people down as they go by if they don't get out of his way.
Yeah.
And as you get closer, you do hear that same hissing. Shh, 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 shh. And it's specifically the one of that first picture because you can see like the sleeves pulled up, and you can see
The same
towel
thing.
in the air.
Gotcha. And I just see him alone for right now.
Yeah, he seems to just be making a beeline, straight ahead.
I'm gonna I'll message Storm Fury and just say
I assumed you guys got together. And were
Yeah, I
doing
thought
this.
we were together. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Then we're good.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
works.
You pull out your phone, you're right next to me, and you start texting me.
We'll say it took a little while for you to catch up because you were further away in town. But yeah, that's
Gotcha.
what I
But
was-
where we met up, we spotted them. Okay, that works. I mean, he's knocking people down. Let's confront him.
All right, let's go do the thing then.
got to confront this guy for being unkind sidewalk person.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, look, we protect pedestrians.
Sidewalk etiquette is the most important. All right, what do you do?
Well, we could just walk up there and all right. Are you right behind me, Dr. Hayes?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna walk up behind the dude and be like, hey, and I'm just gonna like do a fake limp a little bit and like, hey, hey, buddy, and I try and call out to the robot.
Zero acknowledgement at
hey.
all.
Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm walking here. Hey.
Yeah,
I'm
and
limping here.
And it's not even like there's no reaction. It's not like he's hearing you and not responding.
ignoring.
As far as you can tell, like he is just walking.
I tap him on the shoulder.
No response.
When I
Continues to-
tap him harder. Does it like feel like metal when I tap him?
Yeah, I'll say this. You start tapping harder, it does start. You start noticing like it feels like flesh, but with metal underneath it.
I look around at you and I just shrug. I'm like, he's not listening. He's not answering. He's not
I
listening.
nod and then I smoke fly in front of him and then reform.
He walks right through you, unless you're staying solid.
I go solid.
Yep, he
When
knocks
I get
you
in
to
front
the
of him.
ground.
Hey, but what the?
Huh.
I say, because you didn't mention taking any kind of defensive stance or any kind of preparation. You just said you turned.
No, I popped up because I was getting ready to be like, intimidation, and he just kind of kept moving, and I was like, oh, that did not see that coming.
But very similar to how he's being tied to the back, he does not. His eyes don't glance towards you. He is just straightforward, continuing to walk.
I'll stand up and kind of brush myself off.
Ooh, can we change that a little
What
bit?
is up with that?
You turn it. You're on the ground. You turn into gas and get yourself like right up.
There we go.
Well,
That
he
was a
ain't
little
stopping.
unexpected. No, he's not.
Nope, he ain't stopping. I
Where
just
is he
follow him.
heading?
Let's just follow him. See where he's going.
Yeah, he just continues going forward, continues going for a couple blocks, and then he comes to a street corner and he just stops.
Looking around, do I see any other cyborgs that have walked up to a similar spot and parked?
It's late enough at night that when you look like further down the block, like you can see one, and if you look in the other direction, you see like another one. Like they're kind of far away. They're not looking at each other. They're just looking straight ahead in the direction they were walking.
Oh, this is ominous as hell.
I'm gonna duck behind a dumpster.
All right, and I will say that the one that is like if you all are looking in the same direction that the guy you were originally following is, the one to your left is the guy who was in the truck.
Hey, truck guy.
But again, standing completely still, looking straight ahead, all in the same direction as this guy. And you only see, like I said, you can see one like a block away and one like a block away. That's all the ones you can see.
In my mind, I'm trying to envision how to dress like a robot and how to amass a costume to follow them.
There's not a uniform going on here. These all just appear to be dressed like regular guys. Like we'll say like on like tough guys. Like I said, the one guy has like there's a guy with like there's a guy with a biker vest, and there's a guy like wearing like a big puffy jacket, and then there's this guy who's wearing kind of a light hoodie. Like, but there's no color scheme or anything.
Yeah, I
got
gotcha.
To be different guys.
I mean, this is weird.
This is very weird, and they are also very metallic, and they could probably break all of our bones.
Potentially.
I have a feeling, like, I'm guessing that, like, when I tapped him, I would have gauged about, like, that I probably couldn't have damaged him with a punch that easily without making a scene. So.
I mean, I don't know. You have no reason to believe that you couldn't hurt him. He is still, as far as you can tell, he is still a person. He is just enhanced.
I mean, I feel like we just got to try to get a reaction out of him.
Yeah. How, though? How to get a reaction out of this guy?
Throw something at him.
I pick up a tin can near me, and I lob it at his head and say, "Hey, tin can!"
Take a hero point.
Thank you.
So it's a new way of calling your attacks.
And so the tin can pings off of him, and he does not seem to respond to it. You do see, however, his eye, like his pupil, look over at you from the side, but he doesn't like move or anything in your direction.
Interesting.
Roll me a perception check. Sorry, to both of you, I should say.
That is a 21.
Okay. And Dr.
Is my character sheet hiding from me? Gonna be much lower than that. Sorry, my sheet closed somehow. Hero Labs quit on me. But,
oh no.
It was, no worries, it was a 12.
12. Okay. Well, actually, that's high enough. You both are, I would say, what you recognize in his expression, or at least in his eyes, is what you would say is like fear and pleading.
Huh.
Gotcha. I don't think it's his call to be walking out here.
Suddenly, I have the urge to not hit this guy.
I mean, He did knock over that little old lady on the way here. Why was she
Wait, I
walking
didn't-
around at 1 a.m.? That
Wait, I
needs to
didn't-
be looked into.
I didn't-
Yeah, but you should see the stuff that she posts on neighborhood, like
Oh, nearby was the
nearby.
Yeah.
You should see the
Nearby.
stuff she posts on nearby. Trust me, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, well,
Fine.
Well, Storm Fury says it's okay to knock over little old ladies. Story at 11.
just her. Just her specifically. Anyway, well, they're eerily standing around. I'm
yeah,
still inclined to
something
just
called them, I assume.
I'm still inclined to just watch and see what called them, but what do you say?
I don't know any other way to like snap him out of this without hurting him. So I guess we have to see what's going on.
So two things happen in this moment. One, there is clearly a dog nearby because suddenly we hear a dog barking, and then you hear another dog barking. You just hear a bunch of dogs barking, and then all of the guys in your vicinity immediately turn left and start walking in that direction. And then you also see the guy with the clipboard run up to Truck Guy and go, "Yo, what is your problem? Been looking all over for you. Hello? Are you there?" And this is to his buddy from the truck, and he's like walking with him now, trying to get his attention, similar to how y'all were doing until he gets knocked to the ground as well.
And I'll go next to him. I'll appear next to him.
Okay, so like in like visibly to him.
Yeah, I'm fine revealing myself to this guy.
And he looks at you. He kind of crawls back. He goes, "Oh crap!"
Hey, quick question. Your buddy here, you been acting weird lately?
If you mean right now. And then also, as you're saying this, the other guy that you were originally trailing walks past the two of you.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of that going on. A quick question. When did your pal become a cyborg?
Who said my friend was a cyborg? I didn't say my friend was a cyborg.
You didn't have to. It just turns out I'm not stupid. When did he become a cyborg?
Hey, I don't know who you are. I don't gotta talk to you. And he goes, like, gets up and starts brushing himself off.
I grab him and let some smoke trail out from under the bandages, and I'll say, "You don't want to know who I am. Answer my questions."
Roll an intimidation check.
Get my bonus on here. And I've got a total of 20 right now. Unnatural.
All right. He goes, "Oh, I know who you are. You're Dr. Haze."
Hey, look at that. So yeah, if I'm going to be able to do anything to help your friend here, I need some answers.
I don't know. It was like 2 months ago. Boss came by and told us, we'd get a bonus if we got some what he called them, enhancements, to help make the job easier. And
The boss?
my employer, our employer, he I don't know any of these other guys, but that's how we found out about it.
Okay, see, everyone I've been employed by has had a name.
I don't see how that's relevant, really. But I work for, and he lists off some company that
Gotcha.
is one of the shell companies.
Right. Good enough.
And he
It was
says,
last
yeah,
month?
yeah, like a month or so ago. I don't remember the exact date or anything, but yeah, he came up to us and he basically gave us an offer, and I decided not to take him up on it, because he said only one of us would be able to take it.
Looks like you made a good call.
And yeah, so he got him some enhancements, like some kind of like I said, like cyborg things, robot things, to make him more durable and stronger and stuff. And it seemed to be working out just great until tonight. He suddenly just goes blank faced and walks away in the middle of a job.
Gotcha. Well, hey. You should consider a different line of work. Just in general. And I help him up, or I reach down to help him up.
Oh, I figured you like picked him up by his collar or something. 'Cause you said you
Oh yeah, I
were
had done that when I was doing it. So I will just quickly like grab his wrist and turn it slightly. Like, just so you know, we're aware of what goes on in this city. Your pal broke a wrist. It would seem fair if you got a broken wrist, because you just stood there and let it happen.
You can hear me shout out from the corner, "A wrist for a wrist!"
You're not
That's
going to
fair,
arrest
right?
me? Actually, I decided he's going to say, he says that.
Is it
Got a
possible?
real weird response to danger, sir.
He's
How do
already
you
cooperating. You've already intimidated him.
Yeah,
How do you
I let
fire
go
the
of his
GM
wrist.
for that one?
What did you say, Cart?
How do you fire the GM for that one? How does that?
Can I give him a villain point? Is this how this? I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, viewers at home, if you've decided that I shouldn't be GM anymore, too bad. Get your own show.
Right? I let go of it though. I'm like,
And he like grabs at his wrist and he goes, "Right, okay." Funny enough, I
Get
am
out of
also a
here.
person who I am a person who actually does deal with a lot of wrist pain.
oh no. Look at that, props and everything.
Yeah.
You were so ready for this.
Oh yeah.
I tell him to get out of here. We have to figure out what's going on.
All right,
It's your friend.
He scrambles away, gets back in his truck and turns it on and vroom, vroom, heads out.
You think I was making too big of an assumption calling them friends? I mean, at best, we know they're coworkers.
I don't know. Friends are weird. Are
I
we
saw some
friends?
genuine concern. Let's investigate further where they're going.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's tail their car. We really, and as we're like trying to run after them, we really need a van, a very cool van.
Not really a van guy.
You're a
Like a
person who
motorcycle?
You're like a person who guards vans, a vanguard, if you will.
Well, there's our team name. It's unfortunate.
So yeah, so what's your plan right now?
Chase.
All right, so you're just gonna keep following the robots?
Yeah.
All right, and you're following them for a while. Again, it just seems to be like you've counted probably 10 of them. Actually, we'll say, Dr. Hayes, you're able to float up into the air and kind of get a visual, like an overview, and you can see the 10 that were reported all kind of walking in the same direction as well. And Storm Fury, what you notice after a while is you see a group of 3 members of the Frosty Rides Motorcycle Club, kind of like their bikes. They're sitting on their bikes, the engine's off, and they're just kind of like watching, arms crossed, as these guys go by. And he sees the one with the, and they see the one that has the Motorcycle Club jacket on, kind of shakes their head.
These guys again.
And it's none of the ones that you saw last time.
These guys.
Just to be clear, I didn't want to be
First time.
Not seeing any familiar faces.
Gotcha.
Are they wearing sunglasses at night? That's what I'm picturing.
No, these guys are definitely on the older side. They all got real long beards.
These guys. Welp. Welp.
That's all they do in response to seeing one of their guys walking like a zombie.
Yeah, I was saying,
Okay.
they just seem to be kind of watching him as he walks by, and one of them kind of shakes his head. And it looks like after he passes by, it looks like they're getting ready to turn their bikes back on and head out.
Just in a different direction, not following him or anything.
Nope, they do not seem to be following him. They seem like they're they're kind of like turning the bikes like they're preparing to pull a Yui and go in the opposite direction, which would put them back towards like that bar, that hangout bar that they were at.
The one that we got into a fight at?
Correct.
Well,
The guy I treated at the hospital described that one, and I point to the one in the. There's only one of the robot people in the Frosty.
As
or...
far as you can see currently, yeah.
Gotcha. Pretty sure that's the one
Yeah.
that fought the guy in the ER.
he's all alone, and the other dudes are leaving. Want to go see what's up with this robot?
just doing what the other ones are doing. They don't seem that concerned about it, though, right?
I mean, there was the one guy that looked kind of concerned and worried, but yeah, they don't
Not
seem to
enough
be
to
doing a
intervene.
lot. Yeah.
We can ask them about the same routine as the last guy. Maybe they won't crack a weird joke.
Well, I'd love to get into a fight with these guys, but I don't think that's a smart idea. So, all right, we can keep observing, we can keep watching, we can keep learning what's going on with the situation.
Where they're going.
Alrighty. So you're watching for a while, and eventually they all end up in what looks to be a giant like junkyard. That's like kind of towards the one edge of town. It's fenced in, and there's just piles of kind of like garbage. Looks like a lot of old cars for the most part. Some of them are all crushed up. There's a giant crane that kind of can lift things around. It's not active at the moment.
Oh, did you notice the thing with the dogs earlier before they started moving?
Oh, you got all glitchy. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I said, did you notice the thing with the dogs before they all moved last time?
Yeah, that was weird. There were a lot of dogs around.
So, with how they started moving right after that, I'm thinking some sort of like frequency that we can't hear.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye out on like any kind of, I don't know, radio dish or something in this junkyard.
Any
And they all walk into the junkyard, like kind of again single file, and eventually they go behind the various heaps of garbage and trash, or not trash, of junk. And the last one in closes the gate behind him.
I have an idea. So I pull out my phone and I turn on my Bluetooth really quick and see what IP addresses come up.
Oh, like if any like Wi-Fi signals come up or anything.
Yeah. Wi-Fi
Gotcha.
or IP addresses, anything at all.
Oh, look, that one says FBI surveillance, so we might have some backup.
Yes!
That sounds real. FBI surveillance _69 seems legit.
Yeah, and look at this one down here. Oh, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. This one's FBI surveillance 420.
Okay.
Seems legit. We got backup. We're gonna be good to go. So, are there any Bluetooth signals or Wi-Fi signals that in this vicinity?
Say that last part again.
Are there any Wi-Fi signals or Bluetooth signals in this vicinity when I turn my Bluetooth on and off?
Nothing that your phone can connect to for sure.
But is there anything that just pops up on my screen at all that I could like take a screenshot of?
No, again, nothing that like these all just like normal devices and signals from here, as far as your phone can tell.
Well, I've learned that they're not using Bluetooth. And
That's something.
there seems to be no Wi-Fi around here.
Well, there's Wi-Fi, but it's all just normal ones like FBI
Random.
surveillance and people's names and Comcast One, because even in this universe you can't escape Comcast.
No. Like nothing out of the ordinary here. So now we know how they're.
We should get in there.
All right, let's go. Into the junkyard we shall go.
All right, so I mean, I kind of can imagine exactly how Dr. Haze is planning to get in. Storm Fury, what's your plan on getting over this chain link fence with barbed wire?
Let's see. I'm gonna surveil around the edge of the perimeter and see if there's maybe like a divot in the ground that I can get under, or a weak point in the fence that I can like maybe open up.
Okay, make a strength check.
Not bad, not bad. Let's see. Where's my strength? Where's my that's a 15.
15. Yeah, I'll say that you're able to find a space in the fence, and you have to like do a little bit of breathing and focus, but eventually you're able to just like separate it, slowly and silently.
Cool.
And Dr. Haze, I'm kind of just assuming you're gonna turn to gas and go through it or fly over it.
Yep. Through the gaps.
All right.
It's
Both of you
creepier.
roll a stealth check.
I got a 23 for my stealth.
Oh,
It's
dang.
gonna be an 18 for me.
18. Okay. Yeah, you're able to kind of like make your way through here, through the piles of garbage and giant piles of busted cars and whatnot. And eventually you come around and you see these 10 guys all just kind of standing in like a row of five and another row of five. And they're all just looking in the same direction. And what you also notice in that same time is a few moments later, these kind of giant, not giant, I don't know, bigger than a baseball, smaller than a basketball size, drones kind of just kind of float into the area.
Oh, that's not great.
Nope.
There's like
Those will
three
probably
of those,
have cameras. They
there's
will.
like three of those kind of floating around. And then a few moments later, one of the piles of refuse opens up. Like basically, like something was like kind of almost on like a what's I'm looking for?
A hinge?
Hinge. Thank you. Almost like it was on a hinge, and reveals inside a series of robots, including one that was kind of knelt down and stands up. And the other ones are more like human size, and these ones are, just to be clear, robots and not flesh.
Just purely robots. Okay, I was gonna ask.
And then there's one though that's more like a mech. It's about like 10 feet tall 10 or 12 feet tall when it fully stands up.
Oh,
I am in awe. I am in awe and very excited because I love Gundam. So that's just part of my character.
Yeah. Now, and to be clear too, this does not appear to be piloted in any way.
yeah, this one's okay.
But you see this thing stand up. And then the biggest one kind of looks down at the lot of them, and they all look up at him. Or it, I guess I should say. It's a robot. But yeah, that's what you see, and they're kind of just for the moment they are just kind of standing there and looking towards each other.
Very quietly.
And the drones are kind of like floating around the area in general.
Okay. Very quietly, I'll say this feels somewhat out of our non-existent pay grade.
Yeah.
Can't be good.
No. Just an observation. So this is a junkyard. What sort of junkyard equipment is there? Is there like one of those giant claw things that like picks up the cars? Is
So
there
that's what I
like
was saying. Yeah, there's like a crane with
Yeah.
a magnet on the end, and then there's like one of those sections that are for like specifically compacting them.
Okay.
Okay. I just make a note of that. Well, this is kind of freaky. Dr. Haze.
There's got to be a person around here, right? Unless they're broadcasting from super far away. It doesn't look like someone could fit in that big one. It looks pretty solid.
What expertises do you all have?
Let's see here.
Streetwise.
Streetwise? Okay.
And I've got no technology. Never mind.
I also have no
I thought I had a
technology.
little.
Yeah, I have philosophy.
Okay. So
I start wondering if these robots dream of electric sheep.
I was gonna say, do they have a soul?
How old are your characters?
Just like mid-20s ish.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it should say on the character sheet.
Late 20s.
Is it on my character sheet? Yeah, mid-20s, age 26. Yep.
Okay. So, Dr. Haze, roll me a Streetwise check. And Storm Fury, roll me an intelligence check.
All right, I got a nat 20 for a total of 26.
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a total of 3?
A total of 3.
All right. So Storm Fury, with your life in the monastery, this is very unusual to you. You know such things exist out in the world. It's definitely your first time seeing them. Dr. Haze, what you get what was your total again?
26.
26. What you get with that is you remember when you were really, really little, your parents talking about an attack of robots. You never really like thought about it much, as you're getting older. But again, you knew that. Anybody else hear that?
Okay.
I heard it too. I don't know what
Okay.
it is.
All right.
I think that was my headphones. Hold on. The
Okay.
batteries
I was
help.
I was like, it's not just me then. I'm not crazy. I'll give him a second then for that.
Okay. Hopefully that stops. That was just getting us in the robot spirit. I was trying
I
to.
was like, it was the perfect sound too.
You're welcome.
Oh no, we got bloops.
No bleeps? How rude.
Told you the bloops are better.
No, it's all about the beeps.
All right, so, but basically, you remember, from the little bit when you were a kid, is that these robots look really similar to that.
Okay. I think these are a thing that have existed before.
So
Sounds
they're
vaguely
old?
familiar.
But yeah, I
Huh.
was gonna say, but these ones do not look like weathered or old.
Who's making these things anyway?
Oh.
Oh.
It was a thing in this area that had happened though with the robots.
It happened kind of all over town. You just
Okay.
remember that there was an attack of robots, like a series of attacks, and that another hero from a bygone age, named Laserhawk had fought and been one of the ones who fought and stopped the robot attacks.
Yeah, that sounds like the name of a really old guy. I wonder if I have a contact that's an older gentleman. I wonder if he would remember anything about this.
You're fading in. You faded out a little bit in there, Claude.
Oh, I said I have a contact who's an older guy. I wonder if he would have any information on this. He remembers what had happened. Not really in the best position to make a call right now, though.
I'm taking some photos of the robots while I'm here.
Click, click.
Click 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 click.
All right. What are you doing? Or I say, are you trying to make a phone call, Dr. Hayes?
I worry about like a signal going out just in case I don't know what they're monitoring and stuff. It seems risky. I think maybe hold off on that and look around more, see if we can spot a person.
Oh, you're trying to spot a person?
Yeah, a non-cyborg person.
Gotcha. Both you roll a perception check.
Yeah.
I rolled one.
I got another unnatural 20.
All right. So you're walking around for a while and you don't get a very good look, or you don't see any. Why am I saying you get a very good look? Well, one of you does, one of you doesn't, right? What you notice, Dr. Hayes, after time is there are no people here for sure.
Okay.
This junkyard appears to be abandoned. As you look further, though, you do notice that there is like a little pack on the largest robot's back that looks to be like a little antenna coming out of it.
Yeah.
And then you also notice that the smaller robots appear to have some kind of weaponry attached to their wrists.
Okay.
Like there's like 4 of those. The bigger robot just appears to be very large and industrial in terms of like its build. Like it looks like it's not as thin as the smaller ones. Would be like your main takeaway. Okay. And then moments later, you hear in the distance the sound of some dogs barking as all of these robots turn back towards the entrance and begin to walk away.
Oh, I don't like that.
What was the point of this? Why did they come back here?
And actually then the biggest one converts into a little like treaded troop carrier, basically.
Oh my god. We just found our vehicle.
Yes! I like the way you think.
and then the rest of the robots load up onto it as they begin to head
Getting
out.
them all in one place. Interesting.
So
Is
on
that
that, on that is
are the
10
cyborgs getting on it too? Or?
Everything's getting on it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The 10 cyborgs, the 4 robots, and the drones are kind of there's how many? So there's 3 of those. So 2 in the back and 1 in the front, kind of forming a triangle and staying on point with it as it moves.
Okay. They're definitely on some kind of mission right now.
Yeah, and it's not too long until they get up to the front and one of the cyborgs gets out, opens the gate so it can get through.
I feel like that big antenna pack on the back is both getting whatever's controlling this as a signal and sending the signal to the other one.
That seems
I think
reasonable.
we need to disrupt that.
But how? So they've already exited, or they're just heading towards the exit?
They have already exited now. They are now out on the street.
Well,
I don't think we should wait around to see where they're going.
And
We
they
can't
look
be
like
passive on this one.
I would say it looks
Yep.
like they're going further into the warehouse district.
all right. Let's go get them. Let's go follow them.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to jump on it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Go
go.
for that
Let's go.
antenna. I don't know how far ahead it's gotten, but I'm gonna turn into smoke and give chase.
Okay. How are you approaching it, or like how close are you getting to it?
I'm getting pretty close. My plan is to land on it, so the drones would definitely see me coming if they're doing that perimeter. I'm just flying straight to it like cowabunga.
Okay. And
I
Storm
would-
Fury, what are you doing?
I would also like to land on the vehicle for both the efficiency factor of having us both in the same place and because it would just look very cool. So I'd like to use my wind to blast myself forward to try and give myself as much speed and leverage as I can.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check or athletics, I guess, whichever. I always forget which one's higher for you.
Let's see here. That would be that's a 19.
19. All right. You're able to gracefully get a running start. Use your wind to push you up into the air, and you're able to land on it. And Dr. Haze, you're also able to get onto this thing. Immediately, the fronts of the drones all turn towards you, and then seconds later, all of the robots and cyborgs turn towards you as well. I will
we
also
probably
mention that if you are in this thing now, when it folded up, the antenna pack is not visible anymore.
Okay, gotcha. I was thinking on the outside, so I would. I want to go in there with all those. I'll just land on it, not trying to go in.
Oh, sorry. It's like open top. I should have been clear. I misunderstood.
Oh, I was okay. That makes more sense that we can see everything in there. That's on me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well then I will. Yeah, I'll land on it if I get that close before something happens.
All right. Yeah. Well, basically, when you guys land is when they all, like I said, the drones turn towards you, and then seconds later, everything else turns towards you.
How do you do, fellow robots? I am also a robot.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder
I think
alert!
they're buying it, Fury.
Well, and the vehicle's still going?
And the vehicle's still going. And in a moment, we're going to go into initiative, but I think we're going to take a short break first.
Sounds good.
So,
All right.
everyone, we'll be back in 5 minutes after a short word from ourselves and all the things that we support. Maybe not all the things we support. Many of the things that we support. We're complex people. But we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Thanks for watching Dr. Haze and Storm Fury in Short Circuit, a Masks and Mayhem event. We're raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society this month. Did you know that the LLS is the global leader in the fight against blood cancer? There's not currently a means to prevent blood cancers, but LLS has helped advance every critical advancement in blood cancer treatment. They also award funding to major cancer centers to bring world-class care to underserved blood cancer patients. Check the link in the chat or our show notes to donate what you can. Tonight's game uses Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition by our friends at Green Ronin Publishing. Think you might want to pick up a copy for yourself? Head on over to greenroninstore.com and use the promo code MAYHEMCAST. Works for Mutants and Masterminds as well as their other games including Blue Rose and the Expanse RPG. Using our code MAYHEMCAST will get you 5% off your order and you'll help support our streams. Special thanks to Mother of Carp for joining us tonight. You can see Carp streaming on Twitch playing games and making art. Thanks to Claude for joining us tonight as well. Claude is promoting the TTRPG Collective on Discord. They're a group of TTRPG loving nerds online providing each other with mutual support. You can find a link to that Discord in the show notes and the chat. If you're enjoying tonight's stream, you might enjoy the Masks and Mayhem podcast. It's the longest running Mutants and Masterminds actual play podcast featuring R.C. Byler as the Game Master, challenging the heroes, Atlantean Ambassador Yardak, filmmaker illusionist Ruby Lawson, aka Visual Aid, and aging vigilante Brock Balea, aka Laserhawk. Come listen to this immersive story where you can find out what it means to be a hero. Or at least not a villain. Mostly. If you like what we do here, we have a few ways you can support us. Our merch store can be found at mayhemcast.store, where you can pick up hoodies and mugs for the winter, as well as stickers, posters, and even t-shirts so you can think of us while you dream of spring. This month we're doing special Valentine stickers featuring 2 of our main series couples. You can also support us through our Ko-Fi, which allows for one-time donations as well as monthly memberships. Our various membership tiers give bonuses, including access to private stream games for the community, as well as access to things like GM notes and Spotify playlists for characters. But for now, let's get back to the game.
All right, we're back.
Yeah.
Carp, I don't know if you saw, but Poke Your Eyes Out Game says hello.
Poke! Hi, Poke! Sorry.
It's all good. And so, just a quick recap for anyone who might be joining us at this midway point. But basically, Storm Fury and Dr. Haze were kind of investigating a warehouse, stumbled upon a cyborg-looking guy who seemed to be working for the owner of the warehouse, Vito Filoni. Followed him back to a liquor store where there seems to be a lot of like guns and potentially some other illegal stuff happening. They also saw the 2 guys from the warehouse try to shake down the liquor store owner, and then eventually found out that there was some robot stuff going on all around town and started following the robots back to a mysterious junkyard where they all seem to be gathering and then loading onto a giant robot for some kind of an unknown mission. So, last we saw, you guys had just landed, tried to pass yourselves off as robots and failed, and now it's going to be initiative, I think. So let's roll some initiative.
Sweet. Where is? Ah, yes. I got a 21.
21. Okay.
I always go slow on these. I got a 10.
1. All right. Dr. Haze got a 10. Give me a second to get everybody else in order. And give me 1 second just to get my ducks in a row here.
You're telling me there are robotic ducks too?
And I believe you both have 2 hero points at this stage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Give me just another moment then. All right. Oh, actually, I'm going to correct this. And let's... Boom. And... All right. So, at the top of the round, Storm Fury.
Yay! So they're just looking at me. They don't have anything pointed at me, right?
No, they all turn towards you, and they look like they are on the attack.
Okay, I am going to do a slight jump, and like I'm assuming like since they're all really, really close and we're all packed into a vehicle, I'm going to punch the ground as hard as I can to try and jostle all of them and stop the truck.
Okay. You don't have a power like that already listed, do you?
No, but I'm just gonna I'm just gonna use all of my force. It's not like I'm gonna be able to I'm just gonna use all of my force to do as hard of an attack as I can at the ground.
Okay, and so within the game, that is known as a power stunt, basically pushing your powers to do something that would make sense that they can do, but that you haven't already paid for with your characters, with the character's points.
Yep.
So we'll be able to do that in a second. I just want to let you know that the cost of doing that is there's different levels of fatigue involved, essentially. So the first level of fatigue basically means that you're going to move at half speed.
Okay.
You can, however, use one of your 2 hero points. One of the functions of that is to negate the cost of that fatigue. So if you want to do that, you can. You don't have to. So like I said, that first level its only function is to make you move at half speed.
How long would the fatigue last?
Basically, until you have an opportunity to rest.
Okay. I'll use a hero point.
Okay. All right. Well, let's first cover. So we're trying to do an area attack. Basically, it sounds like to be able to kind of hit everybody and potentially do something to the robot itself. You have an ability like a wind punch, right?
Yep.
What is the numbers for that? We'll use
Let's
that as
see.
our basis.
My wind punch is DC 27. Yep. And damage 12.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So modify that slightly. And all right, so everybody's going to get a dodge check first. Now, Dr. Haze, did you turn into solid when you did this? When you landed?
Yes. He would have flown and then, yeah.
Okay, so you're also going to make a dodge check then against this area attack.
That's okay.
And so...
Where did the dice go?
Alright.
I got a 24 on my dodge.
24, okay. you're still gonna make a toughness check, but you're doing it at half effect, so it would be DC of 15.
Dang. And I got a 19 on mine.
19. Okay. So we're gonna say since you did so well on that though, you're jostled. We'll say that you're trying to think what condition would really sound right for that. We'll go with dazed.
Okay.
You're gonna be dazed for a turn, but you're not gonna take any toughness damage. Does that
Makes
seem
perfect
fair
sense
to
to
you?
me.
Does that feel
Yep.
fair to you? Okay. Meanwhile, though, the robots are solid enough to stay standing. 2 of the cyborgs get knocked to the ground. One of which looks like he actually hit his head against something and gets knocked out.
Cool.
And
Nice.
let me see here. There was and we'll do this. And the drones are not impacted. The actual carrier robot, while you dented into it, does not seem to be particularly impacted by this attack. Like you dented into it, but you don't seem to have like pounded through its hull or anything like that.
Okay.
All right. So that was a move, or that was a standard action. Do you want to do any kind of move action? So I guess to give you a layout of how this thing looks like from the inside, basically it's a flat bed in the center, and then walls that are about 6 feet high surrounding the troops inside, and then outside of it, you're basically like giant like tank treads.
Okay. I am. Unless I want to exit the vehicle, there's not much I can do to move. Can I get onto the top of where the cab begins? Like on the top of the cab?
The
so
cab
that
would
I'm-
basically be the giant robot's head.
Yeah, I want to stand on the robot's head.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to like flip yourself up and get onto that while it's slowly treading along. It's going at a decent clip, but it's not like that fast. It's not a car. Okay, so that is your turn. The robots, seeing the damage that you just did to some of them, though, are going to turn and fire at you with what looks to be some laser weapons. Does a 25 hit your dodge plus 10?
My dodge plus 10. It does.
All right, so you're going to want to roll a toughness check then.
This is going to hurt.
You got this.
All right. So that's a 14.
14 total? All right. So you are going to take a -1 penalty to future toughness checks.
Okay.
And you are also dazed next turn. And it kind of knocks you off balance, basically. Like a couple shots hit you, and you're like kind of nimbly dodging out of the way as best you can while also trying to maintain your balance. So -1 and dazed. All right, and the cyborgs, meanwhile, the ones that are still standing and everything, go up to you, Dr. Haze, and go to try to punch at you.
Solid choice.
All right, does a 19 hit your parry plus 10?
Nope.
All right, you
Very close, though.
You dodge out of the way. Maybe you turn into smoke for a moment to avoid some of them, but they're all trying to avoid hitting each other as well. And let's see here, Dr. Haze, it's your turn then.
Oh, cool. Someone was slower than me. That's I will, as a move action, activate my concealment. It's just partial, so I get a +2 to my actives,
Right.
which just brings me up to PL. And then as my standard, I will punch one of these. I'm real nervous though, so I'm going to use my defensive attack.
All right, which one are you punching? You've got cyborgs
Just
and
the
robots.
closest cyborg.
Closest cyborg? Okay.
Yeah.
All
And I'm just
righty.
gonna take a -2 to my attack to get a +2 to my defensive.
Okay.
I might regret that. We'll see. I got a 20 to hit.
20 just hits. So in that case, I'm gonna roll a toughness check.
And it's DC 21.
DC DC 21. All right.
Not the heaviest hitter.
One second. Just realized I got hidden behind here. All right. You said 21?
Yep.
All right. All right. Boom. You knock one of them down, and you are feeling particularly takedowny right now.
Fantastic.
All right. Are you
Ooh,
gonna
much
go for
better.
down?
Yep. 25 to hit this one.
25 to hit. It's still a DC of 21.
Yep.
All right. That one hits as well. And I'll say again, they, as far as you can tell, are a minion. If you're going to keep trying to do a takedown,
Yeah, if that toughness got him. Then... Ooh, and now the misses start. This was a 12 total to hit.
that one is going to miss.
That makes sense.
So you knock down two of them, wham, boom, bam, sending them flying back into the wall. Maybe even sent one flying into the other. That's how you knock two of them out.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
All right. And the giant robot just continues to tread along. And the drones, meanwhile, kind of turn left and right and then focus down on you, Dr. Haze.
Go.
And then Storm Fury, it's your turn.
I want to try this cylinder area move object and see if I can knock one of these bots out of the vehicle.
Let me pull up your character sheet real quick. I don't see why.
I've never tried this before.
I mean, it would make sense. It's on your sheet that you can do it. Let me just see which one we're talking about. Okay. Basically, yeah, you basically create a cone of wind that can damage someone.
So since I'm standing on the head of the vehicle and I'm pretty much staring at like the perfect angle for all these robots, can I just like use that cylinder of wind to try and knock somebody out the back of the back of the truck?
Theoretically, yes. Let me see here. So let's roll that with the same thing you would do for your air punch.
Okay, and that would
No,
be
it's a cone area. They need to dodge it. What am I thinking? I'm thinking about this wrong way. All right. And so you're trying to hit at least one of the robots or the cyborgs?
We'll go with the whatever shot me. Whatever shot.
That would be the robots. The
then
cyborgs
I will
don't
shoot.
appear to be armed with any kind of weaponry.
Then
all right.
the robots.
All right. It does not dodge out of the way. And yeah, you spin your arms around, scoop some air down, force it down into the bed of the truck, and that cone of air goes down below everybody's feet and then up one of the robots and sends it flying into the air, and it smashes
Awesome.
down on the street with a loud crash.
Sweet.
And is left behind as the carrier continues to move along. All right, so that was also your character has takedown as well, I believe, correct?
I think so, possibly. Yes.
Let me take a look. Yes, it's on the third page or on the second page of your advantages.
Yes.
So takedown means that if you incapacitate a minion, you get a free attack to attack another minion.
Can I do the cone again, or do I have to go in and do a punchy punch?
Claude, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you have to do the same attack, do you?
Yes, it is actually.
Okay, it's one of those
Same
things that does
attack.
not come up super often. So
All right.
yes, you would have to do the cone again.
Hell yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna try and cone another robot.
Alrighty. Give me 1 second to mark this down. Unfortunately, this one, seeing what you did to its brethren, steadies itself down as the wind forces it up, and yeah, does not get moved.
Probably magnets.
Probably.
How do they work? How do they work?
Miracles.
Let's see here. And so, are you doing anything else then, Storm Fury?
Nope, I'm holding my ground.
Holding your ground where you're at? All
Yep.
right. And then it is the robot's turn, who, again, seeing what you've done to their ally, go to shoot at you. Oh, but I don't believe that's gonna hit. Let me double check. Oh wait, no. Does 23 hit your dodge plus 10?
My dodge plus 10, that would meet. That would meet. So
So
that would.
meets it means you win in that case, right,
Yep.
Claude?
hmm
I always think meets it beats it would mean
Well, they're rolling to hit.
yeah.
If they hit the DC, then they hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking about
What-
it
yeah.
backwards then. So in that case, you are gonna roll a toughness check then,
Okay.
Mother of
Why
Carp.
didn't I lie? I'm the worst teammate. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I rolled an 11.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, that doesn't seem right. Maybe it's right. I want to make sure I'm being. If anything, I'm trying to err towards being fair to you guys. 'Cause
So
you
I
have a lot of enemies.
so
What
I
was your
got an
total?
11.
And you added
Terrible.
your toughness.
Yes, I
And does that
did.
include your minus
Oh wait,
one?
it's a 10. That's a 10 with the -1. Yep. Yep.
Oh.
Doing terribly. I rolled
Um,
horribly.
Yeah, that's You do have a hero point.
hmm I'm just gonna use the hero point. I'm just gonna use the hero point so I can stand my
So,
ground,
r-
so I don't fall off the truck.
So if you re-roll it, if you get a 10 or below, you add 10 to the result. If you get more than 10, you keep what your new roll is.
I got a 14.
Total?
hmm
How?
Marginally better.
What was,
Marginally better roll.
what was your roll?
4.
So that would mean it's 14 now. Plus
Yeah,
your
exactly.
plus your
Plus my
Plus your
toughness.
toughness.
Plus my toughness.
Okay, that's
Okay,
why I was
that's
like,
a
there's no
20. That's
way.
a 20. That's a 20.
That's a
Okay.
20. Okay.
That's a 20.
And does that include your -1?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
So you are going to take another -1,
Okay.
but it is not as hard of a hit as last time, probably because there's one less of them now.
All right.
Oh, and actually, your turn finished, so you're no longer dazed going into your next turn, at least currently. Oh, and same for you, Dr. Hayes. You finished your turn, so your daze is
Gotcha.
gone. And then the cyborgs are going to go for Dr. Hayes again.
Leave me alone, cyborgs. I don't want this.
I don't think a 20 hits, correct?
Nope.
All right, because that's a parry.
Unless they have something that lets them see through visual concealment, I will point out they would.
Oh, they
then
do.
hit.
Yeah, they seem to be going right for you.
Okay. Oh wait, like mechanically, can they see through concealment? Or
Yes.
because they would. Okay, so yeah, 20 hits me then.
Okay, so you're gonna make a toughness check then.
Yeah, it's a 22 if they can't see through my smoke.
Oh yeah, these guys can, unfortunately for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hero point this too because I rolled a
So
4.
I believe that you are both down to no hero points now. Or
Down to 1 for me.
you're down to 1.
I haven't
for you,
used
okay.
mine. Yeah. Okay, that's a better roll. They're not fantastic. 22 on my toughness.
22. Then you are gonna be okay. They get a hold of you for a moment, and they look. One of them punches you, but maybe you turn yourself slightly gaseous.
Yeah, that's what my protection is flavored as the smoke form. So yeah, that makes sense.
To absorb the blow. All right, and then it's your turn.
All right, I will hit those that hit me.
All right, go for it.
Oh, it wouldn't have hit me. Sorry, I just remembered I defensive attacked last time. But whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, it didn't do anything.
Yeah, it
damage,
didn't.
Right? So...
It didn't matter. I guess it wouldn't have eaten my hero point though.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll give you your hero point back then.
Thanks. I forgot that I did it.
No, that's fair.
I'll keep doing it because I'm very scared of dying. So this will be another defensive attack.
Okay. You're scared of dying? That's an interesting thing in this game.
Scared of dying.
In this game where people can't die unless like very explicit effort is taken.
Look,
Scared
I don't
of
know
the
if
effort.
these robots will stop. But I got a 21 to hit.
He can't be reasoned with. He can't be bargained with. What was your total again?
21 to hit.
21
or a DC
to hit.
21. Yeah.
That is going to hit. Unfortunately, it does not seem to do anything as you wallop into these guys.
Gotcha.
All right, that was defensive attacks. So you're gonna take your +2 to your defenses again. Anything else?
There's how many cyborgs left?
How many cyborgs left? So there should be 7 cyborgs and 7 cyborgs and 3 robots left.
Okay. I will extra effort and go for another hit.
Okay, go for it.
Just because I think clearing these out is a smart move. This is now a 25 to hit.
25 to hit. All right. You knock that one out.
Okay, cool. And then I
Start
will
try and start another takedown chain.
take down chain. Yeah, that's the idea.
And that was a cyborg, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And the chain ends there, as I rolled a 2.
What was your total?
Total is a 12.
All right, yeah, that does not hit,
Yeah.
unfortunately for you. The large robot that you are riding inside of, though, you feel the treads are rattling further as it picks up pace and begins to move faster.
Ruh-roh.
And it takes
Well-
and it banks hard to the left as it goes down a side street.
And I'll spend a hero point at the beginning of next round to clear that
Okay.
extra effort.
All right, and the drones turn left and right and focus back towards you this time, Storm Fury.
Hmm.
And it's your turn.
I want to use I want to use a cone of cylinder wind to try and knock the drones away.
All right, so there's 3 of them. With the way that you're positioned, you could hit 2 of them.
Okay, I would like to do that.
All right, let's see how they do. And what's the DC on that?
The DC is 20. No, wait, looking at the wrong thing. The DC is 18.
18. All
Mhm.
right. You send one of them flying off and spiraling into a building. The other begins to move, gets out of the wind current, and steadies itself back to where it was. Actually, I'm gonna say it corrects itself, and now since there's one less, it's one on each end, one at the head and one at the back.
Okay, cool. All right.
So that was one that you took down though, and it is also a minion. So you do have takedown. You could take another free attack of the cone against something.
I would like to do another cone of wind to another drone.
Okay. Yeah, so you can only hit one or the other. Are you going for the one in the front or one in the rear?
The one in the front.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. Oh. Boom, you send that one flying off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, and are you going for another?
Oh, of course I am. Let's go
Against
for the
the
third
drones
one.
or against something else?
Against the drone.
All right.
Sweet. All 3 drones are taken out.
All right, so yeah, you
Something's out of the initiative. I like it.
Yeah. Love
All
it.
right. Yep, the drones have flown away and taken off, been taken out.
Hell yeah. All right. All right.
And then again, that was minions. So if you want to go for anything else, you still can.
Robot.
All right, and there's actually like enough of those in a row. You could go for.
Can I go bowling for robots?
You can go bowling for robots.
Bowling for
I'm trying to think,
robots.
in terms of doing this without also hitting Dr. Hayes, I'll say there's 3 that you can hit right now.
Okay, then I will avoid the hit on Dr. Hayes and go for the 3.
Thank you.
Okay. Actually, how does takedown work with an area effect? I just realized, is it?
It's hotly debated, so I would just that's your call.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna say, so you hit 2 of them but missed one, but I'm not gonna say that one breaks the chain unless these guys make the save.
Okay.
Somehow.
All right.
All right. So you take down one, but the other one does make the save. I will say that one of the cyborgs goes flying. and hits it bounces off the side, slowing its descent down, and lands on the ground. This was the one wearing the biker vest, so it's he seems to be not a mess.
Well, that's good. Don't want to have to do cleanup later.
The robot steadies itself, and then the other one was able to get out of the way of the cone. So we've gotten down to, I believe that's 6 cyborgs and 2 robots now.
All right, cool.
Or no, sorry, 6 and 3 respectively, and no drones.
Feels like good progress. I think
Yes.
we're doing it.
All right, and let's see here. The robots, seeing what you're doing, but the remaining 2 robots are going to take aim at you, Storm Fury, with their laser guns. But that doesn't hit. You nimbly dive out of the way as they veer off wildly. Like, they're trying not to like shoot each other's laser beams. Trying not to cross the streams.
You don't want to cross streams.
Don't want to cross the streams.
No, it could be terrible.
And now the cyborgs are going to go for Dr. Hayes because they can't get up to you in their turn. Dr. Hayes does a 22 hit.
22 is exactly what they need to hit.
Oh, and also they can see through your concealment, so.
Yeah, so
So,
22. 22 gets it. Yeah,
Alright.
it's right,
Even,
right
even
where.
with your even with your defensive.
Yeah, that's what defensive takes me to.
Just making sure.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna make a toughness check.
Why am I rolling so badly for toughness? Only got 1 hero point left.
Oh yeah, you're using the one to negate your fatigue, right?
Yeah, I used the one for that, and then I got a 15.
15. Are you sticking with that?
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna take a -1 to future toughness checks or to future damage checks, I should say. And you are also dazed next turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it just in case I. Yeah, I'll hold on to this.
What the heck? One second. So you're taking the -1, you said?
Yep.
All right. So that's what the cyborgs do, and now it's your turn, Dr. Haze.
All right. Attacking the cyborg.
All right. With what this time? Just to be clear.
Defensive attack again.
Okay.
With a punch.
I mean, it's a punch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure.
I don't think my smoke stuff will do anything to these guys, so I'm not gonna waste a turn on it. They're immune to a few of my tricks, I believe. But I got a 12. Oh, not a 12. A 22 to hit.
22. That will hit. That definitely. That guy whiffed that roll, so that's another one down. You're down to
Awesome.
5 robots.
Chain it up. Oh, is it robots or the cyborgs? Yeah.
The cyborg. Sorry, you're right. Right.
No worries. This one's just a 16 to hit.
16 is gonna hit. Yep.
Oh, cool.
What's the DC on that?
21.
All right, that one's down 2. Down to 4.
Nat 20.
That hits. Are you doing anything special with that?
I don't think so. I'll do the +5 DC.
Okay, bringing it to a 26, right?
Yep.
All right. They failed by so much. I will say 2 of them are taken out by that.
Hell yeah.
I like it. Thank you very much.
That leaves you with 2 remaining.
Let's go. That's another nat 20.
All right. Are you increasing that DC again?
I am.
Bing, bang, boom. You're just like clocking these guys in the head. You're feeling a bit of pain in your hands just because of how hard their heads are, and
That
stuff.
makes sense.
But you take out the last 2 of them.
Nice.
Are you gonna try and go for the robots?
Oh yeah, I guess I'll move and go for a robot.
All right. Roll that
Or
attack.
actually, are they next to me? Because I actually only have takedown 1, so I can't move between.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, yeah, you will not be able to.
Yeah, they have to be next to me. I will move next to them though. I'll use my move to get
action. Okay,
next to the robots.
them. All right, and then suddenly the vehicle you're on lurches to a halt. And now Storm Fury, it's your turn.
I am going to use that momentum to launch myself into a robot and try to headbutt it.
Okay, so basically you're.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You're
Awesome.
air punch but flavored.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
roll that attack.
Nat 20!
Okay.
They're going around. They're going around.
All right. So do you want to increase the DC of your attack by 5?
Oh, hell yeah, I do.
All right.
I'm just gonna headbutt this thing with the force of the truck as hard as I can.
So what does that bring it to?
That is a let's see. That is a let's see. Where is my attack? Why have I been
It should be in your.
oh yeah, that's
section.
an 8. That's 28. That's 28.
28.
Oof.
All right. So you take out 2 of the remaining 3.
I just I lurch forward and I bowl for robots with my forehead.
And
Bam,
maybe
bam.
You headbutt the one and use air momentum to whip your legs around and kick the other one.
Yeah.
All right. But you are not close enough to get next to the one that Dr. Haze is near now.
Okay.
So, that last robot goes to shoot at you, Dr. Haze, because you're all up in his face.
That makes sense.
Nope. God damn it. Okay, I'm going to assume a 29 hits.
29, 100% hits. Good lord.
All right.
Ow.
I'll say
Yeah.
minions can't crit. Luckily, he only rolled a 19 anyway.
Oh, gotcha.
All right.
So I've got a -1 already, so my total is 18 on this DC.
All right. You're gonna take another. Does that include your -1 that you had?
Yeah.
All right. That is gonna include. It's gonna give you another -1.
Okay.
Alrighty. And let's see here. And then actually, so what am I thinking? I forgot the cyborgs are gone now. It's your turn.
All right. This is gonna hurt. I'm gonna punch the robot.
Punch the robot.
I'm gonna power attack this one instead of defensive attacking.
You're gonna what attack this one?
Power attack.
Okay, go for it.
And I got a 21 to hit.
21 hits. What's the DC on that?
23.
You imbue yourself with some of your smoke energy, punching into it, and then like your hand like rematerializes inside of its head.
Partially in it.
Through.
Yeah. Nice.
And the robot just sparks and falls to the ground as it's the last one.
I'll shake my hand to get some of the any kind of metal that was sticking to my to the bandages.
Yeah.
After you're done shaking your hand, I turn around to high five you.
All right, you high
Grudgingly
five.
raises a hand.
You high five, and then all of a sudden you feel the area beneath you begin to shake, and it begins to lift up. Are you
Well, that's not good.
Well, are the windows open on the truck?
It's open air. Remember, it's just like walls.
But
and then open
yeah. But I mean, like in the cab or for the cab. Like, is his face open?
No, it's like a head.
Okay.
It's not
It's
like
just
a
one
cab
solid
in this-
chunk. Yeah.
Okay. There's no windows. Okay.
No, well, yeah. Again, like but you jump down against the robot, so you're inside the bed of the truck, which is just flat with 6-foot walls and no windows.
I'm gonna get low and hold on to something.
I'm gonna turn to smoke and float up next to it, so when it reforms, I can land on it.
Well, you made the right call to a point, Dr. Haze, because what you're feeling now is, and watching happen, is that this is reforming into a humanoid robot shape. It's like unfolding.
Michael Bay Transformers noises.
That's just the regular noises.
That's just the normal ones.
Storm Fury, give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
I crit failed.
Ooh,
I lied
okay.
about you getting it. Oh no.
And I'm out of hero points.
And you're out of hero points. So what happens is you're going to try and maintain your hold on this thing as it's transforming, but you lose your grip and you fall and you land hard on the ground.
That could have been worse.
You're gonna take
honestly better than being folded into it. I was imagining.
Worse.
I was like, well, rip Storm Fury.
Yeah, they're like
to make
rip.
another character.
There goes my arm.
So yeah, you're gonna take another -1 to toughness check. So you're at a -3 now. And the robot has now formed back into human shape, and you realize that you are outside of some kind of you know where you are. You are outside of the restaurant that the Frosty Ride Motorcycle Club is based out of.
Oh.
Also, as it transforms, just the hunks of different robot carcasses fall out.
Oh no. What about the cyborgs?
Like shaking out a bag of chips that got crushed. And also the cyborgs, yeah, everything just falls to the ground.
Oh no, those guys are. It's definitely not good to be taking hits like that while unconscious already.
No.
I feel some guilt about this.
I mean, is there anything you want to try and do to slow their descents?
No, I mean I feel bad, but not bad enough to do anything about it.
Dang.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, this thing has now formed back into robot shape outside of the Frosty Ride Motorcycle Club's sort of pseudo base. You can see that they've replaced the window you broke through in your previous adventure.
I'm gonna break that thing just for principle.
Oh, is it a Monday? Time to break a window.
Time to break
No,
the,
just theirs.
Yeah.
Just theirs.
Time to break this specific window.
Time to
in
break
the
this
Frosty
window
Ride.
again.
I have a grudge against that particular window.
When are you gonna learn, old man? Stop replacing this window.
And then with all the noise that it made when they came out, you see a couple of the guys from the Frosty Ride Motorcycle Club come out in their vests and jackets, and their motorcycles are parked out front, and they're all looking up. They're like, "What the hell is that?"
Okay, so they're not friends with this robot.
And then they look around at the guys on the ground, and they go, "What the hell is going on?" They actually see the two of you, and they go, "It's those two again."
We're clearly not the problem here.
Did you guys bring this thing?
No, this thing brought us.
Actually.
And all of a sudden you hear a booming voice out of a loudspeaker on the giant robot. Members of Frosty Ride Motorcycle Club, put down your weapons. Bring out your valuables. All you have belongs to us. All you have belongs to us now.
I turn to the Frosty Ride guys. I'm like, you want to help us fight this thing?
Well, they look at you and they go, "Hell yeah!" Immediately, the robot shoots out a jet of flame from a flamethrower on its arm, and they
my God.
and they go, "Never mind." And they flee back into the building.
Should have known.
Well,
Fire, the ultimate enemy of Frost. There was no chance.
And then it turns towards you and it says, "Interlopers, evacuate the premises. This does not concern you."
Hey, what does it concern? What's going on here?
Members of the Frosty Ride Motorcycle Club will relinquish their valuables and their materials. All they have will belong to us now.
why? Who's us?
Unknown command.
Who's us?
Security clearance not authorized.
I just start shouting 01001010101001 and just
Oh
start
my
shouting.
goodness, about its mother?
Its other arm begins to rotate, and you realize that there is a chain gun built into it.
Oh
Oh,
my
crap.
God.
Make a dodge check.
Both of us?
Nat 20!
Yeah, both of you. Okay, nat 20 for a total of.
For a total of. Where is my dodge? For a total of 33.
Whoa, I got a
33.
21.
21. You're gonna make a toughness check then, Dr. Haze.
All right. Ooh, finally. But I am at a -2.
Oh, actually, you're also gonna make a toughness check, Storm Fury.
I can do math. 25 total.
25. Okay.
15 on the toughness.
15.
And that is with the minuses.
All
Not
right, so
20 on the dodge, but a terrible roll.
You're gonna take a -1, another -1 then.
Okay.
And Dr. Hayes, what was yours again?
25 total.
25. All right, so then you are going to successfully turn into gas as this thing shoots right into you. It almost seems like it was more targeting you, in fact. And it's enough time has passed. Your daze is gone now as well.
Okay, awesome.
And then let me get the robots off of here and get the giant robot onto the map, or not the map, the chart. And Storm Fury, we are, I believe, re-entering initiative. Aria, what are you doing?
So the robot's 10 foot tall, or 10 feet tall when standing up.
12 feet tall, actually.
12. It's 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Big guy.
I am going to use a little bit of wind force to try and acrobatics myself up onto its head, or up onto
Okay.
its shoulders. Yeah.
All right, make an acrobatics check. Or again, which one is higher for you, athletics or acrobatics? I'm assuming acrobatics.
Acrobatics, and that's a 28.
28. Yeah, you're able to nimbly hop your way up to the top of it.
All right, so I'm gonna like hop my way up. Okay, what's the shape of this head? Like, how well can I grab onto its head?
Its head is about the size of, like we were talking about, like a truck earlier, like a truck cab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it rounded? Is there something that I can
more boxy?
Okay.
So you could like theoretically like reach around with both arms to like get a grip on.
Okay. So I'm gonna reach around, get a good grip on it, and position myself. And I'm gonna take a moment to like observe surroundings. Like, are there any like cracks or weak points? Like in a truck, if I were, is there a spot that I might be able to hit to try and sever the head? A little bit.
Oh, gotcha. Do you check your advantages? Do you have assessment?
I do not.
You do not. Make
got
a perception check.
Sweet. That's a 20.
That's a 20. With that, you get the sense that this is the most, of all the ones that you were fighting, this is the most solidly built. You do not detect any specific weak points about it.
Well, am I still able to make an attack? Or have I done?
I'll let you make an attack, yeah.
Okay. Then I would like to then I want to try and punch at its shoulder if there's like a spot that I can see that's not totally melted, so that I can try and like disarm its gun a little bit or try and damage its gun.
You're trying to focus on the gun specifically, the gun
No,
arm?
I'm trying to focus on the arm that's holding the gun.
Okay, all right. So that would basically be a smash action because you're trying to like bust something that's part of it as opposed to the whole damaging it in general. So that is going to be, I always forget with smash, is going to be a -5 to your roll.
Well, I'm still going to try and do it anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure you knew what your total is.
I rolled a 5.
So what is that a total of then?
Let's see. And
what's your normal number basically?
Yeah, what would I add to that?
I think you're doing the air punch basically, right?
Okay, yeah. So my air punch, yeah. So just my normal. That would be an 8. No, that'd be a. Let's see. So it's a -5. Roll the 5. So that's a -2.
What?
Yeah. No, I have a plus.
If it's +5 for your roll and then -5, it would.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
I was like, how did you end up with a negative?
it's an 8.
It's an 8. So unfortunately, that is not going to hit.
Yeah.
It's just not quite strong enough.
Okay.
And it kind of we'll say the reason it happens is it kind of moves when you go to strike and you kind of lose your balance for a second.
All right.
Dr. Haze, it's your turn.
So
it's humanoid in shape. Basically, like when it stands up, the treads that it had kind of like sink into its torso.
Storm Fury, I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Can you blast my smoky form through this thing with your wind?
Okay.
So you're basically trying to team attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold and do a team attack.
Okay.
And then I'll be at that point in initiative. I'll wait till next round to do anything.
Okay. Yeah, the giant robot, meanwhile, ignores the lot of you, turns towards the building, and begins to let out the jet of flame, and then plays the same intercom message it initially led with. And you see, like, one of the Frosty Ride motorcycle guys runs out with what looks to be, like, the contents of a cash register and just tosses it on the ground.
Makes sense.
And, like, a couple of them, like, throw guns and knives and stuff out.
There you go.
All right.
Cowards.
And then it's going to be your turns.
All right, cool. Then, so you want me to launch you up into the dude, right?
So basically, you're going to be doing a team attack.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm in the right position.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Like, I can go up next to you, like fly up next to you.
All right, cool. Then let's do that because I don't want to have to try and get back up on this dude. So, all right, that's what I'm gonna
do. I'll float up to you.
All right, I cylinder wind push you.
So you're basically pushing down into the robot because you're on top of it.
Yeah, so my idea is to go smoky and then kind of like semi-solid my way through to tear up some insides until I come back out. So it's my unarmed, but
yeah. So both of you are gonna roll your attack. I guess you're taking the lead attack then.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of you roll attack checks and let me know your totals.
That is a 16.
Okay.
And then for me, that is a 25.
And just to be clear, Storm Fury, that total, you don't take any negatives on that roll.
Right, that there were no negatives.
Okay,
I'm
just
just
making sure.
Yeah, I'm rolling terribly now.
All right.
If it's the area effect for team attacks, it just counts as 1 extra degree.
Oh yeah. I guess if you're doing the area effect as opposed to the air punch.
Yeah, I guess whichever. I don't know which
Okay.
one you wanted to go with.
I was gonna say if you go with the area effect, the roll doesn't matter. In which case you just get.
Oh yeah, then I was going with the
Like
area
roasted.
effect. Like I announced I was using the cylinder, so yeah, it is
That's
area.
true,
that
yeah.
makes sense then. So all right, and then what did you roll, Dr. Hayes?
I got a 25 to hit.
25. All right.
I should have power attacked this. I regret.
Okay.
Because my DC is not super high, even with a bonus.
All
But
right.
we'll see.
And what is the DC normally on that?
21. I should have power attacked it. What a
All
fool.
right. Storm Fury, you like gather up your wind, jump into the air as Dr. Hayes turns into gas, and you push down with all your might as you're coming down and landing. Dr. Hayes, you force your way down through, becoming semi-solid at pieces. You're kind of just dipping in between all the wiring and such, and you do hear some sparks and damaging behind you as you land on the ground again. This thing looks damaged, but not out of the fight.
Gotcha.
Let me make a note here.
I will
Good work.
yell to the Frosty people, just freaking light them up. You have guns.
All right, so that was your turns. This thing does 2 things. One, it lets off another flame jet towards the Frosty ride, who is like, "Oh God, they're gonna burn down the whole place. This is awful. Why would anyone ever do that?"
I mean, that part of this is fine.
Uh,
Not the window. They just
We still have
replaced
time
that.
to break the window. We stop it from burning it down, and on the way out, we break the window.
Yes, exactly. That's my window to break.
and then the robot turns towards you, Dr. Hayes, and slams its fist down on the ground.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Make a dodge check.
This is how I go. Again. And then I'm gonna roll low for dodge this time. That's fantastic. You'll love to see it. That is a 17 to dodge.
All right, so roll a toughness check then.
I refuse.
Well,
Um,
I accept your proposal and deny your result.
Did I use my last hero point? I know there was a refund thing that happened. I don't know what I'm
you
at
did still
anymore.
have 1 as far as I was aware.
Thank goodness. I rolled a nat 1 on this.
Oof.
Yeah,
Alright, let's
it
hope
really
you
would have
roll
been
better.
goodbye, cruel world. Yeah, that's better. 16 plus 6 right now because of my injuries. I'm at 22.
22. You are going to take another -1. And because it took 2 actions in 1 turn, you're each going to get a hero point.
Woohoo!
Sweet.
Putting you at 1 and 1 respectively now.
Thank you.
Hey,
Um,
same day, so I can't get back up to you for another team attack, but I'll try to get there eventually.
yeah.
All right.
And then your daze is going to end then from the last turn now. So that's what the robot did, and now it's your turn, Storm Fury.
Sweet. I want to do a big wind punch, roughly at the area where I tried to push Dr. Storm in the last time, trying to create
I
a.
mean Dr. Hayes.
Sorry, yeah, Dr. Hayes.
Dr. Storm is when
That's
you
our
both...
fusion name.
I was
yeah.
like, Dr. Storm. Yeah, Dr. Storm is when you get caught in a transporter accident.
Next turn, we're doing the fusion dance.
Yes. Wait, you're on the other side. Wait.
Okay. So double check this also on your advantages section, Carp, to see if you have anything like power attack, or there's other ones like accurate attack. There's a couple different ones like that. Precise
Right.
attack.
Well, no. I mean,
Let me pull out your
prone fighting, redirect, takedown, and uncanny dodge. I mean, I'm not fighting him.
There's ones above that.
Oh hey. All right, all right. I would like to do.
I was saying it kind of explains on the side what each one
Yeah.
does.
Just trying to read this as fast as I can, so I don't leave too much airspace on the
Well, I appreciate
podcast.
that, but
I would like to. All right. I would like to. I'll go for an accurate attack just to try and get a specific pinpoint.
okay. So
For
what that's
when
going to do is it means that the actual damage you do will be less, but you're more likely to hit.
I like that because
Okay,
I've been
so-
rolling terribly.
Okay, that's why I just want to be clear about what you're getting out of this. Okay, roll that. So you can do with that. You can do up to -5 on your roll, or sorry, up to -5 on the damage, and it'll get you up to +5. Then whatever you trade off for the actual to hit roll.
Well, I rolled a nat 20, so.
How much? All right. Well, you know how
Yeah.
much you're doing though.
Let's see. I'm going to do. All right. So I do less
So,
damage to these,
all right.
right?
You know what? Since you didn't declare it beforehand, we'll just skip that.
Yeah, all right, cool.
You want
So
to do you want to use your critical to get another +5 again?
Yes, I do.
All right. What's that bring the DC up to then?
So the DC is now up to 23.
23. All
Mhm.
right.
Oh wait, no, that's oh wait, that's a 30-foot cylinder. I was looking at the wrong thing. So that's 28.
28. Okay.
Yeah. That's 28.
Boom, bam. This thing takes another big hit.
Woo!
And you kind of dent in the top of its head, and you hear and you see like a spark fly out when you do, and it starts wobbling, and it says, "Alert, alert, return to base, return to base,
Ooh.
alert, alert." And it begins to walk. It just turns and begins to walk away, taking you with it, Storm Fury.
It's stumbling home drunk from the bar.
Wait, come back.
Make an acrobatics check because it begins to pick up pace.
All right, that is a that's a 19.
All right, you're able to just barely hold on this round as it begins to just take off into a run.
Dr.
Oh no.
And the motorcycle club comes out, sees what's going on, starts collecting all their stuff.
A bunch of cowards.
Are you gonna do anything, Dr. Hayes?
I will fly after. I don't know if I'm still. Am I dazed?
That day's
I think I got dazed. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will fly after. I don't know how fast it's going.
Dang!
If I can attack.
Didn't even break the window before you left.
No, I know. I have to go back for it.
There's still some time left in the night or early morning. It's fine.
Yeah. The
Grab
night's
a
young.
rock.
Yeah, it's pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty late at night at this point.
Okay. Can I get close enough? I don't know how quickly it moved to do an attack.
To do an attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say you've gotten pretty close.
Okay. Because I want to be
I
real
just want you
extra.
to keep in mind though that if you do an attack, there's an increased possibility that Storm Fury falls off. Just
It's
feels
not
I'm
the
doing a
worst.
very specific kind of attack, so I'm gonna hope this works out okay.
Okay.
So I want to be real extra
Okay.
and power stunt.
Okay.
What I want to do with the points I have is turn my smoke tendrils
Okay.
ability.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have to go unsmoky for this. But when I get to him, so I want to turn it into a weaken
Interesting.
that targets fortitude, but with the extra affects objects.
Okay, I was gonna say because robots don't have fortitude.
Yeah, so I can My affliction is cumulative, so it gives me the extra points to put affects objects on it.
Okay.
And I'm going for toughness. So basically the idea here is I want to put my smoke in and push off whatever armor plating seems kind of loose.
Okay.
I'm going to try to weaken its toughness.
Okay. So what do I need to roll for that then?
I have to roll to hit still because
Okay.
of what I'm doing, and then
Gotcha.
it'll
Okay,
be
for
a
toughness. Okay.
it'll be a DC 20
If you
fortitude.
hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Got a 19 for a total of 29 to hit.
That definitely hits. So what's the DC again?
It's 20. It's fortitude, but it's also affect objects if it's immune to fortitude, so it's a whole. You choose what to save with.
So I failed by 1. What does that mean in this case then?
Oh gosh. Maybe I should have looked into weakness again real quick before doing this.
Let's say weaken's one of those ones that I do not use.
It's
so
I've used it so rarely.
say I can
So
put the book
I'm
on.
gonna very quickly get to it.
All right, I have it pulled up here. So with weaken, that's not the right page. Variable.
So depending on how much it lost by, I subtract 1 from the targeted attribute.
Okay, so it failed by 1, so it's gonna get 1 off of its toughness then, basically.
Yeah, by 1 degree or 1 total, because it actually
1
goes by
total.
the number on this one. Okay, then yeah, one less toughness.
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot that I have negatives on that right now. Because it was targeting fortitude, right? And this thing doesn't have fortitude,
Yeah.
but it.
You get to choose at that point as the GM what makes sense for it to
All right,
defend
well,
with.
I'm gonna also include so now so it actually gets 4 off of that it gets 4 additional off of the toughness because it already had that. It failed by 1 plus I forgot I had 3 off on damage checks. So
Gotcha. So it'll be -4 toughness.
all right, -4 on top of what I already had.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So you peel apart a bunch of this armor and it slows down as you're doing that, but it's continuing to progress forward.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like pushed off the armor, so
Yeah,
it will like recover this because it doesn't last that long. It'll like each turn it gets one of those toughnesses back.
Yeah, like it can reach over and it presses the plating back.
Yeah, it's gonna
if it
they'll fall
wanted
back
to.
into place.
All right. All right. And then it's turn. It's the robot's turn, and it just continues. It just eventually gets out of that and continues to break off. Now it's going in a full sprint. Storm Fury, make another acrobatics check. It's
God.
like full on sprinting now to get away.
But I hold on with a 23. Do
23.
Do I hold on?
You do not.
No!
But you only fail by a little bit, so I'll say that you're able to use your wind powers to slow your descent as opposed to tumbling off ungracefully.
No!
And as I say, theoretically, also I'll mention you could use your wind powers to propel yourself to try to keep up with Dr. Haze if you're trying to also if you guys are trying to keep up with the robot still at this point as it takes off.
Yeah.
I use my wind powers like jet boots.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
So Storm Fury, it's your turn then.
All right, so I'm going to be chasing after this guy with Dr. Haze. Keeping the pace. I would like to I don't know how effective this is going to be, but I would love to use another wind cylinder on this guy.
Okay. All right. So I need to roll for that. What's the DC on that again?
The DC is how far away is he?
Well, if you're using like wind to move yourself towards this thing, then we'll say that you're able to like kind of get pretty close within range.
Okay, then the DC is 23.
All right, definitely does not make that. Sorry, DC of 23, you said?
Uh-huh.
All right. All right. It is going to take another. Actually, just occurred to me, Claude. This is also one of those things that doesn't come up very often. Robots can be dazed, right?
Yes.
It would make sense that it's like if it's a
Yeah, as long as it's not
cognitive
resisted by
being.
fortitude. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
moves more
It's just one of those
slowly.
things I didn't think about until just now. I was like, well, it's technically not alive.
Yeah, it
but
depends
I
on
don't
if you want to treat it as an object completely, because it can be broken, or robots are weird.
Yeah, I'll have to look more into the construct.
That's my statement for the day.
Yeah, robots are weird.
Robots are weird.
All right, so yeah, you've hit this thing pretty hard, and it's just continuing to run though. And Dr. Haze, it's your turn.
So I will now turn back into smoke so I can keep pace with it, and I'll keep flying after it.
Okay, so
I
you're
don't think-
just flying.
Yeah, I'll try to fly a little bit as far as I can go. So if I end up ahead of it, that's fine too. It's just if I turn back, I can no longer keep up with him.
Okay. It turns and fires the chain gun at you two. Let's see. Storm Fury does 23 hit, dodge plus 10?
It barely meets, yes. Yes, it does.
Okay. And Dr. Haze does 20 hit.
I'm intangible, so physical things can't hit me right
Okay,
now.
so then never mind. All right. Storm Fury, make another toughness check then.
And my minus, so that's a 10.
10.
Yes.
You're going to take another -1.
Mhm.
You are dazed and staggered.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
probably not running now.
Yeah, it would be recommended that you might want to take a turn and meditate some recovery
Yeah, no kidding.
as you barely dodge some of these bullets and they like just wing you.
Mhm.
However, this thing begins to come to a bit of a slower pace now, and it turns a corner and it continues running. Are you guys going to continue making chase after it?
I'll keep following. For sure.
I'm not gonna leave you alone, so I'm gonna follow as best as I can.
All right, and you see right now there's a warehouse at the end of this road, and it's just making, as far as you can tell, it's making a direct beeline for that warehouse, which has like a giant window. But based on how it's running, you don't think it's gonna stop.
Oh,
Just gonna run right through the door, I guess.
And it goes, return to base, return to base. And it runs, and it's finishing that last sentence as it smashes through the window.
my goodness.
And it tumbles and falls over through the window as you two of you sort of land right outside. And when you look inside, you see the tumbled remains of the robot, which is still active, but like its one hand is kind of just like going back and forth in emotion. It's not really moving in the same way. But when you look around, you see 3 people looking back at you. One has this kind of gold plating on their chest and a long green trench coat jacket. The other is a blonde woman with her hair pulled back in a tight ponytail and a bright blue catsuit. And the other is a young, thin woman with very decorative tattoos just all over her body. And they're kind of looking at you, and you're kind of looking at them as we fade out.
What?
Well,
And this has been Haze and Fury in Short Circuit.
Awesome.
I want to thank everyone who's been watching along with us. I want to take a moment and thank Carp and Claude for joining me. Let's take a moment to let you guys pitch your wares. Carp, if you'd like to go first.
sure. Hi, I'm Mother of Carp. You can find me on Twitch at Mother of Carp and also on Instagram at the_blue_haired_girl_art, which is a mouthful to say, and I really should change that.
We'll have a link in the show notes for that.
Yeah, thank you. Find me on Twitch. I'm Carp. I make things. I do stuff.
All right.
Really-
And Claude?
Really outdoing me on the underscores there. I am Curly Insane Guy _ at Instagram and Threads, where I talk about superhero stuff in general. It's pretty chill vibe. Come chat. I just post about superheroes. That is
And
all.
TTRPGs,
And then I
don't forget.
and TTRPGs, and then I show up in things like this.
Yeah. Once again, I want to thank the two of you. And for just in case you're not familiar, this is the Masks and Mayhem podcast. We are the longest running Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition actual play podcast. We do streams like this that take place in our shared Mayhemverse continuity, but we have also been doing that long running podcast. All of that and all of this can be found on our website at masksandmayhem.com. We use Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition by our friends at Green Ronin Publishing. We'll have a link in the show notes so you can buy a copy of your own if you really want to. If you use our link, you get 5% off your order, so that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
But once again, we will return hopefully next week for the conclusion and crossover of our latest adventure. But for now, bye, y'all.
Bye.